All right. Coda is clapping us in today because Nick is out of the scene. Is he in Vegas or something today?
I don't know where the fuck he's at. He might be.
Something. Yeah.
Look, there's fucking bugs everywhere. See that shit?
Were you imagining shit? I don't see anything. Ryan, you see anything? Kevin's losing his mind.
No shit. Yeah. Dude, like hallucinating. Maybe we shouldn't have taken those shrooms today.
Yeah.
That is not microdosing, bro.
It's one of those episodes.
Yeah. Fucking pull out the fucking knife.
It'll be good. All right. Today, guys, so thanks for joining us. We have a unique guest in the house today, Kaj Larsen, another fellow frogman, class 237. He and I have a lot of history together. We used to party together back in PB in the day. He was on the officer track, but he's probably the most enlisted type officer I've ever had.
Highest order compliment.
Right.
The most enlisted of all officers.
Yeah.
Between I think you and Nico are kind of fucking
and we're buddies. Yeah, we're
fighting tooth and nail for that designation.
Nico and I, we've been competing our whole lives, so it would make sense that we're trying to be the most enlisted officer.
Well, we'll
of
give
all
you
time.
Honorary E-Dog notations.
Yes. Yes.
Honorary red stripes.
Give some red stripes.
My dad would be super proud. Like, Ryan, I don't even know if you know this, but Kev, you met my dad before, right?
Uh-huh.
The Mixter.
Yeah.
He was a E4 in the Marine Corps, like Vietnam era. But
sweet.
he was an E4, I think, 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's giving you a run for your money, Kev.
Dude, but how fucking rad would that be if you had like commander or captain stripes and they were all red?
Yeah.
like that old Norman Rockwell painting with the chicks, the exes' names lined out.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking lion.
Perfect.
Look at you all erudite bringing out the Norman Rockwell painting. Like he's classing it up today.
I told you I'm a cultured motherfucker.
Very cultured. Norman Rockwell.
So we've got, if you guys are following along, we've got a lot to dive into. To the other pieces of Kaj's story is also he got out after a good tour and then went and did almost like a news anchor type thing for Vice News, went and did like a war correspondent thing, and then you got into fintech software company, sold that, now you're on to other stuff, just bought a new boat, which is freaking dope. Yeah, so a lot of
good to be on the other side.
Boats
All right.
Boats and Joes, Kev. Boats and Joes, you know.
Boats and Joes.
Keep it classy.
Well, it is the Navy, you know. So, yeah. All right, perfect. So we like to start at the beginning. I know your history, obviously, but let's start at the beginning. Then also, too, I want to dive into it because I know pieces of it, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
So where'd you grow up? How was your family?
I used to say that, like, I grew up in Santa Cruz in NorCal, like sleepy little surfer town. I used to say hippie parents. My mom doesn't like when I say that, and I was like, Mom, you and my dad were at Woodstock. Like, your hippies have been like maligned in the media. I was like, okay, Mom.
Well, she's right though. Like a traditional hippie is now right leaning.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, no. Well, like, look, none of the definitions hold anymore. But what she always claimed was. I remember I once, because I got into TV and I said, like, oh, my parents are hippies on national TV, and my mom was so mad. She didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
And she was so pissed, and she wanted me, I remember, to go back and edit it. I was like, Mom, I don't think you understand how live TV works.
Yeah. But call it Marty McFly for that one.
Yeah, so finally, exactly, the flux capacitor. Finally, she's like, broke down and started talking again.
Fine.
I was like, Mom, what do you want me to say? It's TV. Like, you gotta use shorthand. She's like, I'm not a hippie, damn it. I'm counterculture. Yeah. Okay, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a similar conversation with my mom. She grew up like
not cancel culture.
Yeah.
That's what happens after this podcast,
right?
Totally. If we were going to cancel, we would have been canceled by now. But yeah, my mom I grew up in Northern California as well, Santa Rosa, and my mom was super freaking hippie. But the funny part is she still thinks she's a hippie, but she believes in, like, obviously property rights and likes money and is self-made. I'm like, you're kind of a capitalist, Mom.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I grew up in Santa Cruz. You know, like you can't graduate third grade in Santa Cruz if you don't surf. You know, so I grew up like surfing, full waterman. You know, competitive, played water polo, and then, you know, recruited by the Naval Academy, ended up playing water polo at the Naval Academy, and that's where I first got introduced to the SEAL teams. I went to the Naval Academy, wanted to fly, started flying when I was really young. Like, my dad got me flying lessons. I flew out of Watsonville Airport in little Cessna 152s.
Shit, how old did you get your pilot's license?
I was 16 when I soloed, and then I like got like right up to the edge, and then at 17, I went to the Naval Academy and never finished my private. So like I have like more hours than anybody without their license, you know, because I've been flying so long.
Dude,
so
that's crazy.
Dude, a lot of kids now don't want to get their driver's license. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's probably safer. Anyways, all these are going to be antiquated skills, you know, the next 5 years anyways.
Just ride one of those
everywhere.
electric scooters everywhere. You don't have to get your license or anything.
Stay a drone to school.
But yeah, so I went to the Naval Academy thinking I was going to fly Top Gun style. And then I met this like other group of degenerates, you know, Navy
What
water
year
polo.
was that?
So I was 95.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I was young for my grade. I was always young for my grade. But, you know, I look back at a Navy water polo picture from my plebe year, that's your freshman year, and my youngster year, that's your sophomore year. And it's like, it's a team of legends, right? You had Tommy Donovan, now Admiral Donovan was the captain of the team. Yeah, Tommy D, greatest SEAL officer ever. You had... you know, Walt Allman was my squad leader.
Yeah.
Mike Martin was my other squad.
And Allman just made Admiral, didn't he?
Yeah, I think. When's this going to air?
I don't know.
I think he might be Warcom.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And Waldo, you know, he's a surfer kid from San Diego. Yeah, ripping surfer. So, yeah. So, anyways, like Johnny Sanchez, who's probably your guys' generation, right? You guys know Johnny Sanchez?
I don't think so.
Stud, total stud. Did SISM for a long time. Anyways, all of these like legendary frogmen, and they started telling me about this thing, like the SEALs, which I had never heard of, and I was like, oh yeah. That
like
sounds
sit
like
down and watch this Charlie Sheen movie.
Documentary.
Yeah, totally. I still think that, like, of all the bad SEAL movies out
It's the
there,
most accurate.
I think that one captures our culture.
It's a great one,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me with your life, never your money or your wife. People are like,
Mikey Sowers.
You only hear that about every day at the teams, you know?
yeah.
Mikey Sowers had a great joke he used to tell chicks at the bar all the time because they're like, oh, I want to date a pilot. He used to tell them, like, yeah, there's not a lot of Tom Cruises in the Navy, but there are a lot of Charlie Sheens in the SEAL teams. It's like, yeah, that's true.
You know, it's funny. If a girl told me that at a bar, I would just say, like, oh, that's funny. I'm a Navy pilot, you know?
Totally. Flying F-470.
Yeah.
Which is a Zodiac.
come and fly this.
All right, sorry, sidetrack.
Yeah, so I had kind of like a circuitous route. This probably started down my enlisted officer path. I went to the academy for 2 years, hated it. Like, missed home, missed surfing, eventually transferred back to University of California, UCSC, where I grew up, played
Really?
water polo there. Yeah. So I left the academy after 2 years. And then I ended up coming back into the SEAL teams through OCS, through Officer Candidate School, which is a much harder route to take because it's much more competitive because you're competing against the whole landscape of the nation for an officer billet. Came back in, classed up. You know, I showed up at Bud's. My roommate, in the beginning, they throw you into that like big pool, like a four banger with like a couple other officers.
Yeah.
And 236 was just about to class up, but I was too late to catch the 236 cycle. But like Mike Murphy was my roommate originally when I first showed up, and then a couple other officers, one guy from his class and then two guys from my class. We were all together. Ended up classing up with 237, and then I was in my birthday is September 10th. So I was in first phase on, this is September 10th, 2001.
It's my mom's birthday.
Is it?
September 10th.
Yeah. She must be a great human.
She is.
You guys know, all right, here's some officer nerd shit. You know what the modal birthday in the United States is? The most frequently occurring birthday in the U.S.?
September 10th?
Pretty damn close. September 9th.
Oh.
Why is that? After Valentine's Day?
Yeah, reverse 9 months from Christmas, from the Christmas holidays.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like September 14th or something like that. But yeah, ping's right around there. Yeah. And
Weird.
There's another little peak like post some other holiday. But anyways, like you could do the math.
A lot of people getting asked for Christmas.
Yes.
Come give me my present.
So September 10th, 2001, celebrate my birthday. I remember it was like a weird day. And you guys remember back then, like, 'cause you guys all went through before me. You know, the SEAL teams like were cool, but that's mostly what they were. They were cool. It was like a shoot, dive, jump club.
There's no war going on. So.
Peacetime, right? And we were still talking like Marchenko and like Buds in those days was basically Vietnam.
Yeah.
Vietnam era tactics and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the first multiple platoons was literally doing like Vietnam tactics in the desert. I mean, the fucking taps and, you know.
They tell us you'll never be driving vehicles in war. I'm like, well,
yeah.
They didn't even, the term mobility didn't even exist.
Yeah.
It wasn't even part of the lexicon.
Yeah.
You're going to patrol 10 miles across the desert. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. That shit was fucking crazy, though. I do remember, you know, multiple platoons where, it was like marching your ass around fucking Nyland, you know, literally doing jungle
warfare in the desert.
And everything was so close. Like, oh yeah, you patrol only as far as you can see, you know. And I remember even being an SQT instructor, and we had staff that didn't want us teaching students how to patrol with nods. We're like, like we never had that shit whenever we were going through. We're like, yeah, but when you graduated from fucking SQT or Buds or whatever, you weren't going into a fucking war zone. These guys need to know how to fucking sight in a fucking red dot, sight in a fucking at peel, you know, put nods on and fucking be relevant versus like trying to feel their way through a fucking
settle down, Fred Flintstone.
Exactly. Yeah,
there was that.
Fucking crazy.
But you're always fighting the last war, and it takes like that transformation. And then, you know, speaking of war, so I'm in first phase of Buds, and then I think it was, I can't remember Wednesday or Thursday, but whatever it was, we had just finished the 2 mile ocean swim. This is the next day after my birthday. It was 9/11, first phase, and we started to hear the rumors. At first, I thought. On 9/11, I thought it was like because the instructors are always fucking with you. I thought it was like a prank the instructors were playing on us. Like plane just flew into the World Trade Center.
Scenario.
Exactly. And we thought like, oh, this is like some game that's playing. And then we ran over to the chow hall for breakfast. You know, did the old Bud shuffle over to the chow hall, and on the TVs. The planes were flying.
Yeah, like the instructors are really going in depth on this.
I was like, these retards could not have pulled this off. This must be real.
No shit.
Yeah, they grounded everything, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a huge inflection point for our community too, right? Because then
it changed the world.
Yeah, and for us, like then we're at war for the next like 2 decades basically, and we didn't know it then. But
fucking crazy.
Yeah, insane. So that's it. So then reported SEAL Team 1 after SQT. I was a new guy, and Ryan was the senior, the gray beard.
I was all of what?
Was
20,
that like your third platoon, second platoon?
We're the same age, so I was probably 22, I think, at the time. Yeah, this is my second platoon.
Yeah, but showing up even as an officer, showing up at No Fun 1.
Oh yeah,
was
I bet.
It's
fucking spit and polish and like.
Yeah.
Your nose hairs aren't trimmed.
I think I had discovered steroids by this point, so I was like max focused on like just getting jacked.
Working out.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, but I was trying.
Yeah, Ryan was fucking huge. And we were in sister platoons. So, and I was the third O in the sister platoon, and that's where we met and became friends. And I actually don't remember how much work we did, but I remember a lot of partying, right?
There was a lot of partying, dude.
So was that like an 02, 03?
When you checked in? 03, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that might have been my third platoon.
It was your third platoon. It was that PACOM platoon.
That's the PACOM platoon. Yeah, that was my last one. Yeah, so it was my third platoon.
It was a lot of people's last platoon.
It was. Oh, God.
But it was crazy. Like, have you guys talked about this? I don't know how much Frogman stuff you talk about, but you know,
if you ask Nick, that's the only thing we talk about. That's probably why he's not even here today. He's like, another team guy? Another team guy on the show? Fuck this.
I heard we were just going to talk shit about the Army. That's why I came on.
A lot of material there.
Yeah. Well, you'll just take the fucking softballs, you know. No, but like, the culture of the SEAL teams is just so fundamentally different than almost anywhere else.
Yeah.
In the military, like, Ryan, you're E6 at the time, right? Were you doing the LPO slot?
I didn't make E6 till I went over to Buds.
Okay.
I was still E5.
So you're still in E5, and I can't remember who the LPO is.
That E5 Mafia.
Yeah.
So it's got to be on one of these plaques.
Yeah, it's over there, the last one.
Yeah, with Iraq crossed out.
Yeah, with Iraq crossed out.
Tom Campbell.
Yep.
Pez.
Yeah, fuck that guy. No, not Pez. Pez is cool, but fuck Tom Campbell.
He was at SQT when I was there. That's the same Tom Campbell.
Nerd, dude.
The
mustache.
He was always cool to me.
Well, he's not cool when he's in charge of shit and talking out his ass. And anyway, fuck that guy.
Kevin,
try not to get. I said it wasn't going to get negative.
Jesus. Pump the brakes. We just got started.
Sorry, right.
Yeah.
I got a good Tom Campbell story when we circle back. But go ahead.
All right. It was. So we were in those two platoons. But I was saying, like, I think pretty unique. Even if we had our Army brethren here, of course we have rank in the SEAL teams, right? But I feel like the only time I ever heard "sir" was like sarcastically, like, "Hey, sir, your fucking weapon's not unsafe." Like, "Hey, sir." Like, excuse me, sir. Like, essentially, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
well, it's like Monty Tree Size used to go, "I call everybody sir. It makes officers feel less important."
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
I love Monty. He's
great.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Monty's great.
Yeah. And so, like, our culture is so flat, right?
Yeah.
And, it was possible. I mean, I'm not saying it was encouraged, but, like, it certainly was the reality that we would, like, train during the day, we'd work hard, we'd go on trips, we'd deploy together even, but then you'd be at my house in PB pushing it up at night.
Yeah, we just had a good time, man. It was like work hard, play hard, and you got to enjoy life. You got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a weird thing. I think, like, in my civilian life about, like, leadership all the time. But, leadership, like, contrary to the rest of the military, like, you got to earn it in the SEAL teams. Like, you have to be respected. Like, it's not given. It's not granted. Like, and if you try and seize that mantle, like, some dude like Kevin will come along and fucking undercut you. Like, there's no tomorrow.
I would never do that.
That's true. It doesn't work like the regular military. Like, I've heard stories about some of my friends in the Marine Corps and the Army, and they're talking about like when Nick's talking about, like, somebody who outranks you can make you do push-ups. I'm like, bro, we just go get in a fight together.
Yeah.
Do push-ups. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, dude, you remember when Lone Survivor came out, and there's that piece where Michael Murphy basically takes a poll, asking all the guys, like, "Hey, what do we do with this kid?" There was so much fallout from that shit because
that would never happen in the military.
That would never happen in the military.
Well,
like, no.
I thought his dad got really mad about that.
I'm not sure who it was, but I just remember there's a lot of fallout, and people were like, "That would never happen in the military." We're like, "Bullshit, dude! You have like an O." It was, and good on him for asking somebody that might have more experience in the tactical field, or if they don't, just a sanity check, going, "Hey, does this fucking make sense?"
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
It's all your lives on the line.
Ultimately, the O is in charge, and you're responsible for the outcome. But it
you want
makes
to make
sense.
the best decision possible, so you want as much information as possible to do that. Yeah.
That was always my leadership approach, right? Like, I recognized, there's this great philosopher, John Rawls, because the veil of ignorance, like, pretend that you're approaching this problem as if you know nothing, which as an officer is often a very reasonable place to start. But yeah, more data, more information. And, like, look, the truth is, like, the sled dogs in the teams are extraordinary. Most of them have master's degrees, right? They have multiple combat deployments under their belt. And, like, my job was essentially to channel and, like, decipher all of that information, use all of that collective wisdom. It's this sort of collective intelligence portfolio.
Yeah.
All of us is smarter than one of us, and then make the best decision possible with that.
And
data.
manage the liberty risk.
Well, okay. Well, that's probably where I failed. Like, because I had Ryan Williams over at my house every weekend.
I wasn't that bad at the time, though.
What are you talking about? What kind of revisionist history bullshit is this? Kevin, you know why he came to my house? Like,
running from the cops?
Well, yeah. No, I had a stripper pole in my living room.
Oh,
I had this
nice.
like legendary team guy house.
Well, I was dating a stripper at the time, so.
So market research.
Trying to get some skills.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
You remember that place, right?
Yeah, you and Carter lived there.
Yeah. So me, Carter, it was kind of like
Who's Carter?
Carter Gaffney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, another team guy. But then funny that house got passed down to another team guy later, Travis Fishburne.
Yep.
Oh,
and then,
Fish.
But then across the street was where me and Mikey and Glenn Hansen lived as roommates. That's where I got in the fight and broke my back on the freaking street corner. But yeah, that house has been through a lot, man.
Yeah.
Where was that? In PB?
It's in PB. It was right behind PB Bar and Grill.
Oh, shit.
And across the street also was Dan Knosson and another group of officers. You remember Knosson?
Yep.
Yeah. So we had this like little nucleus of team guys, and like I don't want to brag, but like based on our incredible interior decorating, we were kind of the epicenter.
No, you guys were, man. Everybody would go over to their place to party. It was good.
It was. I mean, I will say,
That's awesome.
we won that pole in a raffle. Yeah, Carrie Leisure, who was married to a team guy named
Josh.
Josh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Josh's wife.
Yeah.
We won that pole in a raffle. We installed it. Carter Gaffney, who was a former SWO and lat transferred to the teams, he would polish the brass every morning, just like he was back on the ship. You know.
It's dedicated. You got to get the right swirl, you know.
He knew what he was doing.
That's
yeah.
fucking crazy.
The best was, I remember so my grandma is the youngest of nine siblings, eight girls, one boy. She was like 88 at the time. My Aunt Lily was like 97, and my Aunt Ethel was like 94.
They were all strippers?
My aunt.
What the fuck?
Family legacy.
Where do you think all my affluence came from? They don't call it a dynasty for nothing. But they were like on a cruise in San Diego, and they came to visit me one time, and I still remember like my Aunt Ethel, like she was like kind of like hanging on the pole, and she's like, Kaj, what is this thing? And I was like, oh, tribute to Fireman. You know?
It's a lampshade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Ajax, Austin Jackson went over to was I think he was the squadron CO at Red. Like that was a great place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Damn.
history there. I tried, what was that fighting system after SAFTA?
Dieter.
Yeah. So I tried, the one time I tried Dieter in a street fight was after a party at your place.
Oh yeah.
And there was like, we're leaving your place or something, and there were some frat guys that were being assholes or some shit on the street, and they're like, so we tuned him up a little bit, and this guy was like, came at me and was like wanting to like do a little more. So I'm like, but I wasn't really worried about winning. So it's like, I'm going to try this Dieter thing, you know, with the fucking Pisiform thing. So I'm like, I'll try it out. So I fucking hit him in the chest with this. He just like, ooh, looked at me. I'm like, yeah, fuck Dieter, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to rely on fucking like bar kwando.
Exactly.
I mean,
dude, all this shit, like it does, it works in a
those things
dojo.
a fair fight.
Dude.
It's like grab the nearest heavy thing and just swing it.
When you're fighting like a drunk guy too, and SAFTA was all based on like, well, if you hit a guy here, then he's going to react like this, and then you come down like this. And some of it works, but a lot of it is kind of this Rex Kwon Do shit. But I remember the first.
You think somebody wants a kick to the face with these pants on?
I don't think I've ever told this story before, but this is the very first fight I got in ever, because I didn't get in any fights until I was 21, I think, and so I got this big scar on my nose here.
Nice.
So I was with remember Mike Witherell?
Yeah.
Yeah, team guy. He was Team Guy O at we're new guys. And so we're out of this bar. I think it was Moose McGillicuddy's or something downtown.
Moose's.
Yeah, and these guys are being fucking assholes and whatever. Had some small interaction in the bar. And it was me and Mike and like one other guy. And then this tall dude and then their two dudes. And so this interaction, like, you want to go outside? And we're like, okay, cool. So we all go outside. And Mike was walking with this dude probably 25 feet ahead. And I'm walking with his friend. I'm like, I don't really want to fight, but I'm also like not going to not fight, you know?
Right.
But I'd never been in a fight before, so I don't really know what to do. It was all like theory at this point. I watched a lot of Kung Fu movies, you know? I didn't know. So I see this dude like push Mike up against the wall. I'm like, oh, this is my time. I'm going to go fight. So I run over to him, and as I'm running, I'm trying to think, do I fucking kick the guy? I don't know how to kick. Like, do I punch him? Like, what do I do? And as I'm running at him, the guy just goes, bink, knocks me right in my nose, dude, and just like explodes my nose. I'm just like bleeding all over the place. And this is the first time I've ever been punched in my life. So I'm like, fuck, all right, but I'm seeing red, like literally red, because there's blood in my eyes. Like my vision is red. And I remember just seeing all this blood everywhere. I'm like, oh, that didn't hurt that bad. I'm not made of glass. I'm like, all right, it's on now.
Yeah.
So I looked at the guy. I'm just like, yeah. And he must have been, I could see his face just change. He's like, oh. But I still didn't know how to fight. So
you like bit his fucking ear off.
So that was Igor. So I grab him, and this is before I had like zero fight training, no jiu-jitsu, no nothing. And so we're rolling around, and I end up getting his back, but I don't know how to choke him out. So I've seen it, but I don't know how to do it. So I get my arm around, and I'm basically traking him. Yeah, but I didn't know to move it.
Crushing
so I'm
his
like,
fucking
fuck,
trach.
he's not quitting. So I'm like,
Crushing his windpipe.
But I'm like, what do I do? I didn't know to crank it. So I'm like, well, I'll gouge his eye. So I put my finger in his eye socket, and I shove it all the way to my second knuckle and reach around behind the ridge of his nose. But he's still not quitting. I'm like, God, this guy's a tough motherfucker. I can't let him up now. So I'm like, oh, God.
He's going to be pissed.
That's right. I'm like, shit. So I'm like, uh-oh. So I fucking switch hands and I do it to the other eye, and he's still not quitting. I'm like, I'm fucked if I let this guy up. He's tough as fucking Coffin Dales, dude.
Somebody give me a lime to squirt in his eye.
Right. It was the weirdest thing, though, because it was like up to the second knuckle, and I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, so I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So
Guy's blind.
Yeah. So I ended up just cranking on his trach and traking him, basically. And I was like, you quit, motherfucker, you quit. He's like, yeah. I'm like, thank God. So I get up, and I can't see a fucking thing because my vision's just blurry and red and everything. And so we end up going, they lead me back to his Jeep, and we get in the back of the Jeep and go back to the barracks. But we get on, I'm all fucking just completely bloody. We get on base, and they're like, oh, what happened to you? I was like, oh, I fell down and hit a curb. Mm-hmm. So instantly they're like, oh, neck trauma. So they pull me out of the fucking Jeep.
You.
They put me on a fucking C-spine. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have said something else. So I'm going through this thing in a fucking C-spine.
A bird hit me.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. But that's also when it was, this was probably 99, I think. And so I ended up talking to the Master Chief next day at the command. He's like, hey, what happened? And I just told him, I was like, hey, this guy was talking shit. And so we went outside to fight, and he started fucking with, he was going to fight this guy.
Was that Park Hill?
No, it was Cummings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cummings. Yeah,
he was at
super
one
cool.
when we were there.
Well, thank God I didn't have to talk to Faculty.
No, he
probably would have went differently.
You would have
been in the break.
But Cummings was super cool. He's like, hey, thanks for telling me the truth. Like, did you win? I was like, I mean, it doesn't look like I did, but you know, it's one of those you should see the other guy type thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool, whatever. I didn't hear anything about it.
Look, I know everybody's like hot on, jiu-jitsu, but like Dieter, I use that shit. Me and Bloomquist, you guys know Bloomquist, who's over at TG for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like, me and Bloomquist, like on day one of our combatives training, fucking went out to the tavern in PV.
It's great. It's great training.
Yeah. Some guy was talking shit, and we're like, also didn't know what we were doing. We go outside, like, you want to go outside? Okay, we'll go outside. And like, we Pisciform the shit out of that motherfucker, and then ran. Yeah, like there was no tomorrow. Yeah.
Dude, we did that shit for the first time in, I think it was my third platoon. And Mike Watts was our platoon chief, and he was like the fucking boxer, man. And he was just like, needless to say, very skeptical. So we go over there and do this shit, and before lunch or anything, I'd already dislocated one of my fucking pinkies. We were like doing the shit, and it gets caught underneath the visor of those fucking giant helmets. My pinky's like, but funnier than that, like the very first exposure we had to that shit was like the instructors came out and they're like, they get in their stance, and like the guy is like, swinging, like hits him here, and then like kicks him in the fucking side of the leg, and like kicks him on the other side, and he goes to like kick him in the fucking shin, and they're wearing like baits, like boots. He goes to kick him in the fucking shin, and the guy that was demonstrating, like you can repel any fucking any fucking attack or any punch, any kick. Well, the dude kicks him, and his fucking foot like glances up and literally hits him right under his fucking kneecap, and the dude's like, like falls down on the ground, and like we're all sitting there like
it's other attack.
Yeah, it's like our platoon or sister platoon, and like the dude's on the ground, like, and we're like, really? Like, this is how do you teach us how to do that? Of course, Tony and Fratty was in that platoon too, and he was just like, "Hey, how do you teach us how to do that one?" Like, but yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. They used to say we wound up not even doing. I don't even think we did the whole fucking week. But,
it's good. Like the hooded box drills, like scenario training is really, really good scenario training.
Yeah.
I think the meta takeaway from all combatives, and remember there was all this drama with like Jocko instituted the new system because Jocko was like the admiral's aide at Warcom after all this, and he really Jocko was my first jiu-jitsu coach, and he really integrated like hands-on jiu-jitsu into like our combatives training,
like real MMA,
MMA, and he was early and he was seminal, and he's like, this Dieter thing is like a bullshit legacy contract, and
which it was. He used to like fuck around and like.
And he made a ton of money.
He squirreled the shit out of that contract.
And like, look, it was a necessary evolution as we like transitioned to a wartime posture, right? And we went hands-on, right? All of a sudden, it wasn't Vietnam era tactics. We were like kicking doors in houses every night and having to like prisoner grapple and like roll people up and like, not just shoot people.
I will say about the Dieter stuff though, like if you have a rifle or a pistol, like if you have a gun in your hand, it's really good. It's really good for that.
Yeah, and look, I think it's kind of harkens back to the conversation that we were having last night a little bit. Like the big picture of it is this. We were drinking at dinner last night, Kevin, so we got an early start on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
We missed you. Yeah. Overlooking the sunset in Pacific Beach, it was so romantic. You would have loved it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Would have been better.
Where were you guys at?
What?
Jordan. Tower 23.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, what's Jordan? Is that our waitress's name?
Coda.
No, it's Jordan's the name of the restaurant at Tower 23, the hotel. It's the same place.
Look at Ryan all bougie. I love him. I love it. That's why we're still friends.
I just
we
drink a
both
lot there.
evolved so much.
I just drink at higher class establishments now.
Yeah.
I just have higher bar tabs. That's it.
I love. But we were saying like there is something about like you're asking. SEALs, whatever, special operations forces to do these like essentially impossible tasks overseas, and you're asking them to like it's not normal to fucking kill another human being, right? Nobody should like doing that, right? And then you're asking them to transition back to normal society.
Depends if they deserve it or not.
I know.
If they're doing 60 in the fast lane or something, like
yeah, he definitely deserves to die.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you get my point. You're asking people to do impossible missions, impossible shit overseas, the hardest shit in the world, and then you're asking like to come back home and to blend back into normal society, and you wonder why like guys have like drink, fight, fuck tattoos, right? It's because like
these guys are too aggressive.
Who are those guys?
Yeah.
Who are those dudes? Yeah. But
dude, I just remember like after the first pump to Iraq, we came back and we're like, dude, a lot of shit in NSW is going to change. Like it's going to become a lot more mission focused. It's going to like a lot of the fucking, haircut and uniform shit's going to go by the wayside. Nope.
Wow.
Fucking, it was opposite. That's when we started wearing like those fucking Boy Scout shorts and the fucking, like couldn't wear UDTs anymore. You couldn't just walk around in a fucking pair of UDTs and a t-shirt. It was those green Boy Scout shorts, and like each command had their own, t-shirt, blue shirts, and you're just like, what the fuck, man?
I was already gone by that point.
But thank God for like Bradley Cooper, like that shot that went viral on the internet of him wearing UDTs,
right.
like that. Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
With the prosthetic.
Yeah.
Like, look at that giant bulge. Oh my god.
Gotta make us proud,
Right.
I still have a pair of UDT shorts.
You got it, bro.
I rock them.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid.
I wear them.
Somebody tighten mine up. I can't wear mine anymore.
I wear them on Halloween sometimes when I can't figure out a uniform. I just go this Magnum PI. It's a classic.
With UDTs?
UDTs and a fucking
dude.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
man.
dude.
It's the best, dude.
UDTs work. I thought it was like forever. I've been waiting. Jeff Gum. You guys haven't had Gum on, right? Gummy on yet? Yeah.
He's. I asked him. He doesn't want to come on.
Smart. He's fucking smart move. Yeah.
Does he come out here?
Yeah.
He lives out there with you, right? In Miami?
Yeah. He lives on my compound. We got
nice.
a little
Compound. Nice.
compound. Kaj pound.
Nice. Yeah.
But I'm always trying to convince him to do like the corduroy, like OP. Remember the OP
Yeah,
shorts? Like
yeah.
those are sick.
are cool.
Those are the real Magnum shorts,
Yeah.
right?
Corduroy shorts?
Yeah, like those short corduroy shorts, like OP style, 80s style shorts. Those are sick.
I remember I had those in like 8th grade. I didn't know
Yeah.
those are the military thing.
No, they're not. I'm just
okay,
saying,
just
like, I feel like that's what
stuff.
Magnum.
For Magnum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually binging Magnum PI right now.
Ryan wouldn't know anything about Magnum.
Right.
We'll teach him about that shit.
He was one of the coolest Team Bad characters. Though.
Oh,
Yes.
dude.
Thank you.
100%.
Him
Yeah.
and Charlie Sheen, I think. Are
Have you guys clarified this on the podcast for people who don't know?
Which?
Like that season 1, like later on, they jumped the shark and they made him an aviator, but the original, like, thesis of the character was that Magnum was a SEAL before he became
Yeah, it was
a
original
private detective.
frogman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, in the last
Sorry if
episode.
that's common knowledge. I don't
No,
know.
the last episode too. He gets married and he's in his fucking chokers and he's got a bird.
No
He
shit.
comes back in the military.
He got married in the final episode?
Some shit like that.
What a loser.
How have they brought? Well, that's obviously not a team guy.
He's like a commander or some shit.
Yeah.
The next season with him divorced back to the strip club.
Yeah. Season 9.
Yeah. That's a reality
It's
show.
like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, but wait, of all the shitty TV shows that they brought back, how have they not brought back Magnum and redone it?
No, they did.
What?
Did they?
Yeah.
Starring who?
There was a dude.
No, you're talking about Miami Vice. They brought
No,
back.
there was a Magnum PI. It was
No
on,
shit.
Yeah. It was a Hispanic dude, and they had a female Higgins.
That's probably why it's
Yeah.
not memorable.
I can't.
They filmed it in Hawaii. My buddy was the armor on the show, and dude, it was so fucking stupid. Like they had a Marine that played supposedly TC, but dude, they had the dude in uniform, and he's literally like a sergeant. And I'm like, dude, sergeants don't fly fucking helicopters in the Marine Corps, you fucking morons.
Yeah.
So yeah, they fucked it up pretty bad.
So they should have had you advising on it.
They should have did
should have
something,
had
dude.
KK
But,
on
yeah,
that.
it's-
Who would be the best?
I gotta look it up now.
Who would be the
That's
best
what I was-
character?
I know where you're going.
for
That's what I
this?
was thinking.
For a revamp?
Who's the modern day Magnum?
Ooh, that is a good one. Who would that be?
Okay, let's look to the Hollywood dude.
Yeah.
I like
I was
how
sort of
there's
maybe
another
like
Hollywood
almost
dude.
like an older version of Chris Pratt type thing, you know, like 40s.
Somebody's got to have a
40s.
lot of like swagger though.
Yeah.
To pull off Magnum.
Got off style. It's almost a mix between, you know, Sean Stokes.
I mean, Sean Stokes.
He's like the Ernest Hemingway of the teams, dude. He really is. Yeah, he'd be good there.
I gotta look up this fucking Magnum PI.
No, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
Jay
sort of bummed.
Hernandez. It was in 2018. It says 96 episodes. They did 5 seasons.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah.
None of this is working for me. Let's just pretend that didn't
Yeah,
happen.
let's just
And
erase
like
it.
Michael Bay, who Kev and I both know, if you're listening, like
Yep.
fuck, we need to redo Magnum.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this dude played TC, Theodore Calvin, and was like, I saw a picture of him. I'm like, how was that guy in fucking... How was he a sergeant in the Marine Corps? Or some
Yeah,
shit?
they seem like
maybe
they-
it was just one shot that I saw because I didn't like watch the show or
Sounds
anything.
like they
but
missed the mark on a lot of things there.
Kev, is Hollywood course correcting? Are they like getting away from all that shit? Like, okay, here's my pinnacle Hollywood story. So you guys know my story. Like, I went to grad school, and like in order to pay for grad school, I got into media, became a war correspondent, and then like that's how I paid for grad school. I was at CNN, HBO Vice, and then like did a bunch of stuff in TV, including shit with Kevin. But now I like pivoted, went to entrepreneurship, like sold a company.
like, fuck this Hollywood shit.
Yeah,
I need
totally.
some money.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Hollywood's awesome if you don't need it to put food on the table.
Yeah,
Now
no
I
shit.
can invest in movies and shit, and
Yeah.
like now I can be on the finance side. And it's good to be on the
Yeah,
finance
dude,
side.
no
like,
shit.
Let me tell you.
Fuck doing stunts when you can be an executive producer. You know, you're like,
I remember I was doing stunt work. I've done it all, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I got like all my noble journalism work, like nominated for a bunch of Emmys, won a couple Emmys, all that shit. But my only Academy Award nomination was for my stunt work on Black Panther.
oh, no
Actually,
shit.
yeah, with Chris Dennison as the
Interesting.
who's an amazing
No
stunt
shit.
coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I done it all in Hollywood, but I remember I was on Black Panther, doing like the underwater stunt stuff, and I was sitting around the table, and people like think stunts are like glamorous. Like, it's not glamorous. Like,
no.
That is some blue collar like shit.
Hey, it's glamorous if you want to walk around with a fucking limp the rest of your life.
Totally, you're basically falling off buildings. You're fighting, like, and you're getting hurt all the time. But anyways, I was sitting around with like the stunt guys at the what do they call it? Craft services, like where you eat.
Crafty,
at the Crafty, and like somehow it came up that I had a master's from Harvard, and the stunt guys they put their drinks down. They're
what
like,
the fuck are you doing here?
What the fuck are you doing here with us?
No shit. There are a lot of legacy guys in the stunt world, like dudes who, dads were in the stunt world, and
totally.
I mean, guys like Keith Willard, who I just worked with. Both of his kids do stunts, but it's like one of those things, like you bring your children
James
into
Armstrong.
that.
You worked with him too, right?
Yeah.
His dad was like a legendary stunt guy.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool. You got those guys you bring your kids in to do that shit, but then at the end of the day, you want to be a young coordinator to preserve your body. Because I've known dudes.
Seems like you take a real beating doing that stuff, man.
Yeah. And well, a lot of it too is doing the shit the right way, because there's guys that can take falls, and you're taking the right way. Eventually, you're gonna fucking get hurt. It's not like, oh, I fell the right way, I'm never gonna have an injury. Like, it's not if, it's when.
Kind of like riding a motorcycle or something.
Yeah, you're going to get bumps, bruises, banged up, and shit. But the plan is to be a coordinator early, get enough shit under your belt to where you're still looked at as, okay, this guy's got a lot of fucking experience. But
you can move to the next level.
Which is hard to do. Like, you got team guys that do years in the teams, and then like Ryan Sangster, he's doing film stuff, and dude, it's like one of those things, man. It's hard to do 20 years in the teams and then transition to like film work, and I mean, it's a young man's game, the stunt world, man.
Yeah,
so.
I bet.
Kevin and I had this crazy stunt coordinator on the Jack Ryan series on Amazon. This guy, Tom Struthers. Yeah. Great fucking
dude. He's trying to get us to go out to that film festival in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
so Struthers is living in Texas now.
Yeah, well, I mean, perfect. Like, Struthers, one of the most awesome human beings on the planet. Like, helicopter pilot, like flies his own Black Hawk or whatever.
That's
but
fucking cool.
Stunts are a lot like the teams in some ways. Like, remember he made me do that stunt on Jack Ryan where like you threw Krasinski out of the helicopter.
Yeah. That was a great shot.
Yeah,
it's a great shot.
That and texted you.
Well, it's crazy because you were essentially working as a camera operator.
That's right.
He goes out with the fucking camera.
So they had to throw me out also along with Krasinski to film the thing. But like anything else, it seems like it was planned, but it wasn't really fucking planned.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this thing going to like float? We didn't dip test it.
No dip test. So like,
and I'm carrying this like, $100,000 camera, and at some point you just got to push the I believe button and fucking go out.
It's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah,
I hope it floats.
Worked.
Fins will
the camera
travel.
guys are like, yeah, it'll float for sure. I was like, really? Doesn't seem like it'll float. Yeah.
Jesus.
Hope it's shot tested. 20 for 20 out of this fucking helo. But yeah, that was a good time though. That whole show was a pretty awesome experience. Season 3 and 4 having Tommy as the coordinator, and I mean, dude, he's like Kaj is saying, like, dude, he's a fucking pilot, so he's like flying to the venue, like some of these location shoots. He's like flying his own fucking personal helicopter there.
That's cool, dude.
You're like, this is pretty cool. And then we wound up using his bird for some of the shots, and they it's a little bird, a Bell or whatever the fucking little birds
MD
are.
550.
Yeah, and dude, they made like these fucking rocket pods and shit and put on the side of it. Shit looked pretty fucking
Those are so
dope.
cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like as the podcast has progressed, we start to get a lot more messages from. It's been crazy to see how many different niches it kind of fits in.
Yeah.
And the stunt world is definitely one of them. It's we're starting to hit up by a bunch of different people. It's been cool to see like who resonates with this stuff. But I think the stunt world and the MMA world too is
for sure.
pretty cool.
Well, that's one of the things too. I was kind of talking about like with Harry Humphreys. I was like, you know, making a transition from like the military into that film world. And I see why he did it for so many fucking years, because you get like you do a feature film like Transformers, and you have all these fucking team guys. It's like being in a fucking platoon again. I mean, you have all these fucking dudes, and you're going out at night, you're drinking and raising hell, and then the next day you're fucking laying on fucking cold concrete and you know in fucking costume, like waiting to fucking go on, and everybody's hungover and you're drinking water and just like literally just laying there hungover as fuck. And
that sounds like a platoon.
Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, and then now jump out of the 60 with this
exactly
fucking
like
camera.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no shit. I mean, some of those days like Bay is like, you know, looking at all of us like, come on, let's go, SEALs. Like, come on, get your shit. Like, why are you guys dragging ass? We're like, I think we're all still fucking drunk. You know,
just gotta hydrate real quick.
Yeah,
no shit, man.
But
it's been cool to see like the progression, like how the intersection of like what people find interesting and cool. Yeah, because I didn't really think about it, because we all live our own lives, you know, and we have our own paths and whatever, and we intersect in our friend groups and everything. But it's been interesting to see how because I manage the Instagram account, so we get messages from like a ton of people.
I was curious who was doing that.
No. Some asshole. He's a real jerk. But yeah, it's been interesting to see like as we progress and as it gets bigger, like the kind of conversations we're having. I really like it.
Yeah.
Like we were talking last night, man. It's like I like the entrepreneurship stuff. I really enjoy it. I like the challenges. There's a lot of personal growth to it. But, man, the fucking volatility of it, like, we're up or down all the time. It's like juggling chainsaws, and, like, sometimes the fucking chainsaws are on fire. Then you get a big win like you did, and fuck, it's awesome. Dude, I'm so proud of you. It's so awesome to see.
Thanks, man.
But I'm still waiting for my big win. I'm like, fuck, man, we're still grinding.
Yeah.
And so you tend to, like, take solace and pleasure in the small wins and the small moments of like peace and clarity. And this is one of those things, dude. And as I was kind of evaluating like all the numbers, and as we're like the business part of the podcast and everything, not that it's a business, we make no money with it, but just the fun, man, the fun. Like, this is what I want to do with the next 10 years of my life. This is what I want to do. Have intentional conversations with my friends, have some drinks, some laughs, tell some funny stories, get together, reconnect. Like,
yeah.
It's just so fucking cool to be able to do that. And the podcast is I look at the podcast as just a way, it's an excuse to have a good time with my friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, essentially talking like with guys like Joe Rogan and shit, and like he's openly came out and was like, dude, like this started off as just sitting around talking shit with a bunch of friends. He's like, dude, who do I want to talk shit to and about and with, and literally it started off as just sitting in a fucking room with a couple of microphones. I mean, I don't even think the first ones he did were even videoed. It was just audio.
Yeah. You know, funny thing, sorry, were you gonna say something, Kaj?
Yeah, I guess like it'll probably drag the conversation down, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyways.
Let's go.
It's like fuck you guys. No,
like. No, I think what you're saying is profound, and the reason I think it's profound is everything's evolving all the time, constantly, including us, right?
Yeah.
Like you
gotta
evolve or die, right? Or
exactly.
else we, like
There's
become
no treading
dinosaurs,
water, bro.
right? But what I was thinking, especially now as we're entering this like interesting new like sort of time, we are not a nation at war. Like when we were on active duty, 2 decades at war, right? We are wartime SEALs. Yep. And that's different than this current generation. Might not be different forever, right? Like the pendulum swings, they might be back at war. But for now, like we're in a period of like deep conflict. Even though special operations forces are deployed around the world, it's not like it was at the zenith.
Yeah.
From fast forward from 2003 to 2017 when we were like constantly deployed. And so I think about like, there's a lot of negative shit that came out of that time. period, right? We all lost tons of friends, right? We're still
a lot
mourning
of
those
funerals.
guys. And the three of us have carried more caskets than any other 48-year-old should fucking carry. We've slammed more tridents into wood than anybody should ever have to do at our, what I was going to say young age, but now middle age, right?
Right.
No, seriously. We have, that's a heavy burden to carry.
And continuing, with dudes.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Right. And it hasn't ended when the wars end. I was talking about this on my last podcast with Jimmy May, who is profoundly affected by Mike Day's suicide, right? So and Special Operations Forces have borne a heavier cost than the conventional side proportionally, right? Because we've been the tip of the spear for
Just
the last
from the
20 years.
Numbers perspective.
Yeah, exactly. It's just math, right? But how do we translate that? What's our responsibility to translate all of that sacrifice into service? And I think it is that there's all this wisdom that's contained within the community. And it's funny, of course, we got in a shit ton of bar brawls, probably more than we should have, right? At some point you should have somebody on from the San Luis Obispo brawl with the dudes from the library. I don't know what platoon that was.
There's multiple.
Yeah, that went on for 15 years. I tagged Chuck in the last clip we did on that. He didn't respond, but
Chuck's a buddy of mine. I could reach out to him.
he
should
seems
have
cool,
him on.
man. He seems like a cool guy.
Chuck's awesome, but so we have all this wisdom contained from that 20 years of sacrifice and service, and I do think it is our responsibility to take some of that wisdom, right, and apply it to the world now, and this is one mechanism of doing so.
Yeah, I think I've said this before on a few podcast episodes ago, but I look at kind of what we do is it's almost like therapy, and we just record it. And I've said a few times, man, it's there's we deal with this in our own life, but a lot of the conventional forces, they don't have the support that special operations do. They don't have all the foundations. They're kind of they're
on their own.
Yeah, they're kind of on their own in a lot of ways, man. And I imagine from their perspective, they kind of would probably feel like they're a little bit forgotten and kind of in a thankless position. And so if you're on your own, and somebody hit me up about this the other day, he took my advice and was like, hey, I want to do what you said. I was to start a podcast in my garage and get my friends together and have some beers and just chat.
You're I didn't say that. You're fucking stupid.
No, but I was like, dude, that's great. He's asked me what equipment to get and everything. I'm like, dude, just get a fucking iPhone and a whatever mic or whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't need a mic. This is recording on just an iPhone. It's not great audio, but it's not the point, dude. Nobody's going to listen to the podcast. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. We're very intentional about it, but that's a different story. But if you just want to get the benefits out of the podcast, and the main thing that I enjoy about it is not, I think we're in it for $33,000 already so far. So it's not it's definitely not a moneymaker. Yeah. But at the same time, dude, I enjoy it. I love the fuck out of these conversations. I'm so glad you could come, and this is what I want to do. We get to catch up with friends like TCAV and Dirty and just fucking vibe out. And
fucking Beto, dude.
Yeah, Beto. It's so fun,
once he's
man.
in town.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he here?
No,
no, he was on. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We caught him in his rare moment.
Literally trying to nail that guy down. I'm proud of everything he's built. He's built
such a great guy. I should have him on my podcast.
Dude,
military entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs. What he's built is extraordinary.
Dude, he's continued to build shit. He's got the knife company. Even before that, he was doing B&S, which was a beer and spirits. So that was a brewery out in East County that he partnered with another team guy, and then they basically pulled the fucking rug out from under him, and it was a wash. I think he recouped some of the money from that, but then he started doing the blades. With the blades, came the canoe club, the fucking winery, all the stuff that he's done
into so much stuff. So he actually did. He's very cerebral about it, super intentional, very cerebral. So he had a little get together. There's only 8 or 10 people there, but he did a little tour of his facility, and he's talking about the intricacies of how he did it, how he built it, how he does all the nuances of how he built that is insane, man. Yeah, he'd be a great dude to have on with that.
And everything he's kind of garnered as a result of that. Like the guy is literally, he hunts more than any person I know, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's reaping the rewards.
He's literally Tristan from Legends of the Fall. Dude.
Yeah,
He literally is, dude.
I mean, dude, literally, he's reaping the rewards of everything he's put, blood, sweat, and tears in. Now he's able to, like, I mean, he fucking spearfishes his ass off.
Yeah.
He fucking goes to fucking Africa. He's like, killing everything in sight.
That's a great point. He's probably the pinnacle of what it means to like live your life and then parlay the life that you live into like business ventures that you just enjoy doing.
Yeah. You know why he's able to do that, right?
Kelsey.
He's single. Yeah, right.
God bless. God bless.
I actually asked him about that, and I was like, "How do you manage all these things?" And he's like, "It's partnerships.
Yeah,
like I partner with really great people, and they manage the things that I don't want to do, and they're
strategic partnerships, not romantic partnerships.
Yeah, right,
yeah. Nobody needs that kind of friction in their life.
Right. Exactly.
How is it that I am the single guy out of you two married guys?
I know, right?
What the?
Well, everything that I have is because Disney is an integral part. Like, she's my partner, and she's basically a co-founder in all my shit. Like, she's the reason I can do any of this because she manages all the back end infrastructure. Like, she's a killer with that stuff, which is why I try to stay out of her way. Because like I go in the office at the wrong time. She's like, "I'm fucking handling shit. Get the fuck out."
You're like, okay.
Yep. Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shit, I'm the same way. I mean, you've met my wife, and
she's
I'm
so rad. I don't know what she's doing with you, but she's so
I don't know
rad.
what she's doing with me either. I'm like,
yeah, Gabby and Disney are pit bulls, dude.
Yeah,
they
dude.
are.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. I don't know. Well, you guys probably don't listen to this dude, but there's this NYU marketing professor, Scott Galloway, who says the most important economic decision you'll ever make in your whole life is who you marry.
Totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I've heard that from a lot of
which is
people.
crazy. I mean, when you think about it, it makes total sense, but it's fucking crazy. And I've listened to a lot of snippets and shit on guys preaching the other way too, going like, why would a guy get fucking married? Like, there's no, statistically, it's most, the women statistically are the ones who are going to ask for a divorce. They're going to take half your shit. Not to say there aren't successful women that marry successful men, but
that's true.
Traditionally,
too. That's very true too.
Especially in this state, it's like, it's like, well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Funny.
You just lost half your shit right there.
Funny little side quest. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just looking over at my my podcast producer, Angie. It's the first time she's paid attention the entire podcast.
Yeah. She's like, what the fuck?
She's like, these Neanderthals. Oh, I care about this. Wait, what do they say?
Yeah.
Dude, so I took all my computers because I was looking for old photos because I got a computer stolen years ago. So I lost like all my deployment photos. So the only photos I have from like my 6.5 years at Team One was from
stuff you put on Grindr.
Exactly.
They keep an archive there. I might have to write customer support.
Was from photos other guys took. So I have a few, and so I took all my old computers because we have a ton of old computers here. So I took them to Crywolf here in town, which does like data recovery. I'm like, I took them like 8 computers. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is on here. I just want all the photos, right? So I pull it off, and so I went through, and then my when I was married before, Kelly, you remember? Do you remember Kelly?
Yeah.
Australian chick. I don't know if you ever met her, but
you got to watch out for those Australians,
dude.
I'm just fucking. My current girlfriend's Australian. Yeah,
I'm the sucker for the accent.
Yeah.
And so I was going through, but also it was a very like bad relationship. Like she's a great girl, she's just not a good wife. So I was like, fuck, how did I fall for this? And I was going through the old photos, and I'm like, oh, that's how I fell for it. I'm like, oh, he was insanely hot. But like when you're 21, it's like that's all you see. It's like, oh, how hot are they? And then, but as you get older, and I mean, this is going to sound a little coarse, but you bang enough hot chicks, you realize like it doesn't fucking matter, dude. As long as you think the woman you're with is hot and you're attracted to her and you have a quality like romantic relationship.
Right. I understand what you're saying completely. Kevin has no idea. Like, he's still waiting to bang enough hot chicks.
Wait. Banging dudes doesn't count.
If they're really hot. Really hot. Yeah, man. But it's one of those things, and like we were talking about on your podcast yesterday. It's like, dude, it living in San Diego, Man Diego, There's so many hot chicks. There's so many hot dudes. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. It does not matter at all. It's like, what's their character? Like, can you trust them? Are they willing to build with you? How are they going to be when the times are tough? How are they going to be like when I was in that moment where I owed a friend of mine over $300,000, I'm $500,000 in the hole. I'm like, the fuck am I going to do? Staring at the ceiling at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking terrible entrepreneur. I'm a shitty husband. How did I get us in this position? And she just rolls over and she's like, I was like, I don't know what we're going to do.
Jesus.
That would have been the second best thing she could have said. But she's like, babe, you still up? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. And she looked at me and she says, I don't know what we're going to do either, but I know we're going to figure it out. I was like, I married the right fucking person, bro.
Exactly.
That's the shit that matters. That the person you can fucking build the life you want with, that's fucking key. But these do-nothing bitches, all they bring is fucking hotness. I'm like, dude, just go watch porn.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Welcome to Miami. I'm a SoFlo guy now. Used to be a SoCal guy. Now I'm a
How do you
SoFlo.
like in Florida? You've been there for 4 years now?
Not quite 4 years. I mean, like, I had like the world's longest breakup with California. I'm a Californian, right? Born and raised, you know. And then I really started to fall out of love with California during COVID. And look, California will come back.
A lot of people did.
Dude, it's crazy. I'm like a cliche of a cliche, you know? Like, COVID came. It's like, you know what it was for me? Is because I grew up a surfer, like, my day one of my life, my dad took me down and like dipped me in the Pacific Ocean. It was, you know, like in Capitola by the sea, right? So like my whole life has been about like the ocean. I basically won every swim in buds, like all of that stuff, like consummate waterman, right?
Yeah.
And
did you do the Waterman's Guild?
What?
5 miles in under 3 hours? Is that it?
Oh yeah, easy like that.
Yeah.
That shit. And like I played water polo. I did the treading water with the tanks. Like they wouldn't let me use fins.
He's got some crazy water stories. You after you're done with this, you should tell the story about diving in and going down for that to that car that went off the cliff.
That's how I got into teams.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
That's a pretty wild story.
Yeah. But so anyways, like the ocean is, and I have this friend who passed recently, but he wrote this book called Blue Mind about the cognitive effects of water on the brain. He's a cognitive neuroscientist, like brilliant PhD, Dr. Jay Wallace, right? Wallace Nichols. And
advocating for hydrocephalic.
Is that a water dick?
Hydrocephalic, you see those babies with this water in the fucking brain?
I don't know this.
Oh, dude.
I thought Kevin was making another dick joke.
No, man. Like you never see like a
hydrophalic.
No, hydrocephalic.
Oh, cephalic.
Yeah. You never seen those? You see some of these like babies that are born. They have like massive fucking heads with. Like, yeah. It's.
I just thought that was you.
Yeah.
It's the HGH. I'll stop interrupting. Go ahead.
No, so this guy wrote this whole book about like how like we're all from water, like we're comprised entirely of water. Like the planet is mislabeled as Earth when it really should be called water because it's mostly water, right? And so the ocean has been like always like instrumental and seminal to my life. And during COVID, like these motherfuckers like banned the ocean, which is to me the quintessential symbol of freedom. You ever seen that crazy video? I actually know this dude a little bit from Malibu. He's like paddleboarding in the middle of COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like a helicopter and a lifeguard boat and a Coast Guard boat that
like
descend
some terrorist on a paddleboard.
Yeah, he's like Osama bin Laden on a paddleboard. There's by the way, no safer place to be than alone in the ocean on a paddleboard during COVID.
I think a lot of politicians made some really, really, really bad. Or not only politicians, but I mean, there's a lot of celebrities that are making some sway fucking comments, and I mean, even like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "Fuck your freedom" and all this shit. But dude. They were like filling up skate parks, like putting sand in fucking skate parks, so kids couldn't go out and
that was right
skate.
by my house in Venice. That was right by
what the fuck?
No, I was in this perpetual battle with the city. 'Cause I play beach volleyball.
Trust the science. You're like,
I play beach volleyball, and so the city would like take bulldozers and they'd make these like mounds on the volleyball courts. And every morning we'd get out there at like 6 a.m. and we'd like dig out the mounds. Yes. And then every day at noon, when the city workers got up to work, like they would come and they would fill in the volleyball court with these mounds, and it was like just this battle going on.
Some battles are worth fighting, dude.
It was fucking insane. So anyways, so I live in Florida, the free state of Florida, as we like to say.
It's just so fucking
How much better is the quality of life there?
It's just different. Like, California's still the greatest state in the union. Natural geography, gorgeous. Like, we're in San Diego. It's probably the best city in America.
Yeah.
Right? But there are things that are, like, that are amazing out there. Like,
Yeah.
And also, I'm just like, warmer and warmer water. You know, it's a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
I like it.
I will say there's a lot of fucking, you know, anytime I talk to people, like, especially like I'll go do a detail in Texas or anywhere not California, people are like, oh my God, like, how do you live in that fucking communist state? And
Yeah,
just
we're in
like,
San Diego, bro. You were in LA when I was gone. LA is just wacky.
And look, that was the pinnacle. I know, I get. Trust me, I get that nonstop. You know?
But it's fucking weird. It's like when we have the ebb and flow of like Republican, Democrat, like in the White House. I literally have to look at my life and go, how bad is my life going to be? It doesn't affect me that much. Yeah, my taxes might go up here.
I just ignore all the rules I don't like anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it that way, like I try to do the right things. Like all my cars are registered and I have a driver's license and I have, I'm a law-abiding
He's a good citizen, right?
I'm a law-abiding citizen, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if you think about all the rules that you can get away with if you choose to, like, there's a lot of loopholes, man. A lot of fucking loopholes.
And there's a lot of dumb shit too, like with the Second Amendment in this fucking state. It's like you poll 3 or 4 different fucking cops. They're not going to fucking give you the same answer to the same question.
Because they don't know.
Yeah, half the time it's like, I don't know what the fuck you can have on an AR-15.
Dude,
how long is the barrel supposed to be? I don't know. Maybe fucking 10, 16,
I wish cops
30?
paid like
I don't know.
$200 or $300,000. You imagine the caliber of cop you'd get for like $200 or $300,000. You get some fucking sharp ass cops,
crazy.
dude.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Hey guys, how does one take a leak on this podcast?
Oh, we take a break.
We just take a break.
Can we do that?
All right, let's take a break.
It's a good spot.
Break time.
Yeah.
There's a clap.
White Moose.
And we're back. Was that like a Bud style endurance event? Like, okay, this fucking ossifer is gonna quit and ring the bell and fucking have to take a leak before the rest of us. You know?
No.
Okay, I lost.
No.
Yeah.
We don't really have a whole lot of challenges here.
Yeah. Typically, it's just like, anybody else have to piss? And like, okay.
No, about the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I know I've said this the last 3 podcasts, but we do have a Patreon, and on the Patreon we have the what goes on in the breaks. So sometimes there's some pretty funny, interesting conversations going on in the breaks.
Yeah.
But I've been I'm like 3 episodes behind on it, mainly because Beato's episode I had to cut
everything.
So much shit.
Everything.
Yeah. He's like, don't mention this either, and he's like telling some pretty epic fucking shit.
Yeah,
like,
they're great stories, but
like,
these are not for public consumption.
Yeah.
So I have to go through that, and it's been a little technical journey to go through that. But by the time you guys are seeing this, hopefully I'll be caught up, and you'll be able to access on the Patreon, which I think we have a free account for now, and then anyway, it's free right now. And you'll be able to see all the behind the scenes kind of what we talk about in the breaks. Because sometimes that's why we started it, because there's so much cool shit we talk about in the breaks. And then we're like, fuck, we should record this.
Yeah, for sure. And that did happen a number of times when we weren't fucking recording. And we're like, why the fuck did we just go into that whole fucking story? We could have saved it for the
we should have had it
for
on
the
show.
actual fucking podcast.
But that's all. Like, that's always true about media. Like, the best shit happens when the little red light is not on.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like, yeah. So.
But you guys are talking about Kiev on the break, and then you had a story about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
thought you had one.
Yeah.
I think I missed the first part of the
Who has a story that they're willing to tell about Kiev?
No, so Kiev was. I was supposed to go do a gig over there, and then by the time everything panned out, I was like, it doesn't even make any sense, because I wouldn't be carrying any weapons. I wouldn't be fucking. And the threat is legitimately like, well, really the only threat is like drones.
Yeah, what are you gonna do against that?
I'm like, I don't have any like counter drone shit, and we're rolling in armored vehicles, and you're going to like a place that's fairly safe. Like, guys going from like Poland into like Kyiv, and then back. It's not like would be going to like fucking Crimea or some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
is this like an EP thing, or is it like a operation?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were like 2 guys that were. I don't know. I don't even know why the fuck they were going over there, but.
Yeah, Kiev a weird place, dude. So Disney and I went over there. We went to Prague, and then because we usually take like one little vacation every year. And so this year, this was, fuck man, maybe like 7 or 8 years. Obviously before all the shit like hit the fan.
Yeah.
This is after their kind of like little revolution style thing, and then before the big thing. With
Who was
Russia.
president? Was it Timoshenko? Do you remember the woman?
I don't fucking know.
You don't
bro.
remember Timoshenko? Timoshenko. So I was in Kiev in 2014. I went back once the war started, but
It was a couple years after that.
okay, yeah. This was like she was. You would remember because I just remember walking around Kiev and like seeing her campaign posters. And there's like political campaign posters, and then there was like Timoshenko, and her campaign posters were like her in like all leather on a Ducati.
Oh wow!
And she won. And
No
she
shit.
won. Yeah.
It's a different culture
look at
over
fucking
there, man.
what's his
Yeah, it's
name that's the
different.
president now. Like he was like a full on like actor or some shit,
The
right?
Jon Stewart of Ukraine.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, a little
like
guy.
oh yeah, they'll fucking
But they
vote for
had a big
anybody.
shootout at their main town hall thing, their main like center. And when we went there, this must have been, I'm gonna fuck up the dates. I'd have to ask Disney, but maybe probably 16, 17, something like that. And you still see the bullet holes in their monuments and everything. They had a like pretty major thing there. It was wild. So anyway, we go to Prague, and Prague's cool, but it's like a bunch of like we didn't see any actual like people from Prague
bullet
there.
holes.
No, it was a bunch of Euro trash, dude.
Yeah.
It was like Walmart of the fucking Europe. It was fucking terrible. Like it was. I mean, there's history.
We went to Prague. We went to Prague together. Actually.
yeah, with
Oh,
Struthers.
did you?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
the bars are really cool. There's
Yeah.
some underground stuff and some cave. The history there is fucking amazing. The clock tower, it's beautiful.
I was
there.
actually very surprised how clean it was compared to like fucking Paris and Athens and places like that.
I
But
haven't
like
been to those
Prague
places.
and fucking Budapest, I like fell in love with Budapest.
We loved. Kevin and I went crazy in Budapest.
yeah,
Like we
Dude,
had the
those
best
places
time.
Are fucking awesome.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Then I'll come back. We'll come back to Kiev.
No, just how fucking clean the city was, and just everybody there was fucking cool. Most of those people speak English. You like go to the bars there, and it's just like a fucking rager
This is
all the
Budapest?
time. Yeah,
That sounds
like,
cool.
dude, this is fucking awesome.
And
the
what's
food's great.
Food's great. So we stayed at this place. I think Kevin probably arranged it. We stayed at this place, the New York Hotel, which is like where like the actors, like because we were stunt actors on the show,
Right.
which meant like. I can't tell if it was like the worst of all worlds or the best of all worlds. Like
Maybe
we
both.
got to like maybe both. We
I
got
was
to
at the Marriott.
Oh,
I didn't get to stay with you guys.
Oh well, you got fucked.
Well,
yeah.
I actually asked to go to the Marriott because, dude, they had me staying at the Four Seasons first. And, dude, I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm spending all my per diem on, like, a fucking hamburger.
Yeah, Four Seasons is
So I
so
was like,
nice.
fuck
though.
this,
The
man.
it's nice, but like the New York hotel was amazing. It used to be. It was this iconic hotel. Budapest was like the Paris of Eastern Europe in the 20s.
Yeah.
So all of like,
shit.
and this place that we stayed at, the New York
It
hotel,
was super
like,
fucking nice.
it was amazing. It's where all the intellectuals and like artists and poets used to gather, and like people would just come and buy them breakfast and listen to them talk.
Dude, like crazy stairwells and fucking balconies.
Full
and,
orchestra for brunch. So like
What?
Sunday brunch
Yeah.
was like a full 17-piece
sounds fucking
orchestra.
cool, dude.
It was epic. Yeah.
Getting drunk with an orchestra as a background. Like, all right, that'd be good, dude.
It
Another
was
bottle of champagne, please.
Grab some French toast, dude.
good.
Well, they don't call
Yeah.
it French toast over there. They
Just
just call
regular
it
toast?
toast. Just kidding.
Royale toast.
Royale with cheese. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. And like, I got the one video of Kaj. We went to this one. There was one bar that we went to quite a bit. I'm trying to remember what the fucking name of it was. And I'll think of it. So I have to go back through some old text messages and figure out what it was. But dude, it was always fucking going off in there. Like you typically. Like, you couldn't just walk into a lot of these bars if you were a guy, which is another thing that's fucking cool because I guess they try and keep their numbers to where it's not a fucking total sausage fest. But, like, we would go up there, and obviously we're fucking American, so they would be like, okay, yeah, you guys can come in. But, dude, when I first started going there, this was like 2021? It was like in June. Whenever first couple times I flew out there because I was on another show, and then I went out there a couple times, and dude, it was full on COVID lockdown, and they had like the airports and shit coming in and out were like fucking weird. Like that was the first time I went there. I was there for like a week and then left, and then I came back again, and it was in July, and that's when they had loosened all the restrictions.
Nice.
I'm like hoping for, thinking it's going to be the same way. I get off the plane, they're just like, come on through. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this is fucking great. And they had literally like no mask restrictions, none of that shit.
Nice.
But on set, because of the unions and because we're a US based
production,
show,
yeah.
like they still had all the restrictions and shit. And like half the fucking workers, were Hungarian, and they're just all
they didn't
like,
give a shit.
Yeah, they're like, fuck this,
Nice.
Every
Just
now
right
and then
around
people
the
go like,
chin
oh,
and
your
everything.
mask. You'd have all like the
Let me get it up.
all the like the COVID coordinators, and they're just like, oh, your mask, please. And you're just like, come on, what the fuck,
Yeah.
But no, it was fucking awesome. That bar, which I can't remember the name of, I got this picture of Kaj, this huge fucking bottle of.
Oh, that's the video you showed.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's a big
Russian
bottle, bro.
standard. It was like I think it was like 1.5 liters. It was pretty fucking big, and somehow, I don't know. At some point, I fucking Irish goodbye during the middle of that fucking.
Which, that sounds like Irish goodbye implies that, like, you stealthily exit the bar without telling anybody. No, I see this fucking motherfucker running out with a huge ass bottle, and, like, the whole bar is turning to watch him with this, like
See you later.
just sprinting. Like, I have no idea what he was going to do with it.
Did you get out of there with it?
I think it was empty at that point, right? Was it just the bottle?
Dude, I don't know. You're the one running out the bar with it.
I thought I just wanted to keep the fucking bottle or something. I don't know. I'd wind up not even fucking keeping the fucking thing. So, but
Yeah,
then
because like bringing it home would be like shipping a Christmas tree home or something.
Yeah, but then
Was
like
was that the one that you had to have on that lever? thing
no,
to
that's
pour
the
it?
one I'm talking about now. So we came back from Slovakia. So we went and filmed some shit across the border, like up Slovakia, like up towards like Poland and stuff. And then we came back to Hungary, and I think we only had like maybe a weekend or less than a week there. And we went out this one night, and it was me, you, Paul, and a couple of the pilots. The pilots were with us, or at least one of the pilots, and Ricky. Remember Ricky?
Oh, the army guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So we had met this fucking army dude.
Oh yeah.
He was
Just randomly? He
Kevin,
wasn't-
Kevin met this army dude.
So he was over there. He was in the U.S. Army.
But he wasn't on set or anything? You just met him out?
We met him out like partying, like drinking at like a European cafe bar.
That's awesome.
But they needed a fucking guy to be a truck driver or something, and he actually had lines. And he goes, well, I'm in.
And he was like an army truck driver.
No
and
shit.
Kevin's like, you're perfect.
So we got him a fucking role. And dude,
No
the
shit.
guy's name was Ricky. He was a fucking great guy. And he winds up in the fucking show, and he had lines and stuff. And
No
so when we
way,
came
that's
back from
awesome.
Slovakia, we partied with this dude. And dude, we got bottle service, and it was like a fucking like 2.5 liter bottle of Grey Goose. It was like this fucking big. It was so fucking big. It had like this,
Contraption.
yeah, like it was a teeter-totter. Like you put your glass up, and you had to like.
Because it probably weighs 50 pounds, dude. How are you going to pour
It was
that?
fucking crazy. I was like, I've never seen anything like
Did
that.
they have, like, in the U.S., like, bottle service girls to pour it? Or were you just, like, kind of doing your own thing?
Yeah, they have that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they
they're never, they're never on time or fast enough as how fast we were drinking. I'm
That's
pretty
true.
sure we went through that whole fucking bottle that night. I mean, I don't know how late we stayed, but it was an all-nighter.
Basically felt like I was back in the teams.
That's a great video they showed to
Yeah.
you, dude.
But
Awesome.
fucking Hungary is crazy. Like it's, from what one of the grips was telling me, it's illegal. It's illegal to be homeless there. Like if you're found like sleeping in a park or some shit, like they're like, hey, you don't have any family that you can stay with, and if you can't support yourself, they put you on a bus to fucking Serbia until you can like come back and like support yourself.
I think California
I'm like,
should,
damn.
California should start doing this shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean the guy might have been full of shit, but that's what he told me. And
no,
you
that
didn't-
tracks.
And you
Yeah.
didn't see any fucking homeless people there. Seriously, you're like, this is fucking crazy. But dude, just the scenery over there is fucking awesome. Like my hotel, the Marriott, was right on the fucking the Danube. And dude, my view, I look right across the fucking river, and there it's
Parliament,
Buda Castle.
Oh, right.
And then Parliament was like down same side of the river. So that's
awesome.
There's Buda and there's Pest, and that was sort of the two sides.
Huh?
Yeah. So Buda Castle. Well, I mean, they merge at some point, but just everything over there is so fucking cool, man.
I'm gonna put that on my
all
list of places to go because I'm usually pretty. I don't want to say bougie, but I just hate lack of infrastructure. Like Disney and I were just
this is bougie. Like,
oh, perfect. I love it.
Yeah, and I look, I think the whole thing about European travel is like you got to zig where everybody else zags. Like fuck Mykonos. I'm so tired of like Mykonos, Saint-Tropez, like all of this bullshit. Everybody going there and flexing. Like, where you want to flex? You know where all my like rich friends go? Like we go to Norway, right? We go to all of these places.
Yeah.
Krakow in Poland, right? So everybody wants to go to Prague because it's like an old city that wasn't touched by the war. Yeah, that's where every other like plebeian tourist goes. Like, you want to go to another city that nobody talks about that's untouched by the war? Krakow, one of the few cities that wasn't bombed in World War II.
Well, the only place that was cool we went to in Prague, well, aside from the strip club we went to, which is crazy, they're like 35-foot stripper poles. Like I was kind of in a fear for this girl's life. Like they were like legit acrobats. I was impressed, but.
This is like some Darwinian stripper. Like, if you can survive the 35-foot pole,
survive the stripper pole.
It's probably some like
you've earned the right to get a lap dance with Ryan.
Some stripper hazing going on there.
Just survive your shift.
Yeah. But we took a walk outside the city center, like a pretty far walk, and then we got in like the locals area, and it was totally different scene, man. It was beautiful. The food was good. Vibe was awesome. It was a totally different experience than like right in like the main city center. But yeah, Prague was cool. There's good stuff there, but it was not. I think we spent like 5 days there, and then we went to Ukraine. But Ukraine was dude. That's so. I'll tell you the Ukraine story. That was pretty fucking wild, dude. So we get in there and we fly to Ukraine. I don't know what to expect. This is before all the war shit, so I barely heard of Ukraine. I don't really care about international politics. Whatever.
Right.
So we go there, and as soon as we get off the fucking plane, I mean, it turned out to be a parking structure. It was half built, but it looked like it was half destroyed. So like all the shit's all fucked up. It looked like it got bombed out. I'm like, where the fuck are we? And then it's like I felt like we got off the plane in Mexico or something. There's all these people, these shady people walking around like, hey, you need a taxi? You need this? I'm like, bro, I don't know. And I go to the ATM, and I'm like, bro, am I getting fucking mugged here at the ATM trying to get some fucking whatever dollars there? I think I still have some in there.
Like, taxi, cocaine, taxi.
Dude, it was so weird.
Girls, cocaine.
That's exactly what it was like, man, aside from the drugs. But I found this, like, the least shady character there, and we're like, okay, well, you seem less shady than the rest, so we'll get a fucking taxi. And
gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, right. So they get you. That's how I lost my first kidney. So we go to we get in there, and he's driving around. And it was just it's a weird vibe, dude. Like their whole thing, nobody smiles, nobody's happy. It's not like around here where everybody's bebopping around and having a good time. Like chicks there's nobody dresses up. Everybody's like clutching their shit together. It's a very different experience. And so we had got reservations at the nicest hotel in the country, which is like $120 a night, so it's not expensive at all. So when we go there.
But what year was this? You said there's like 10 years ago?
Yeah, close to 10 years ago now. It must have been 16, 17, something like that. And so we go to this hotel, and it's right at a T intersection. So this will come into play later. So there's a T intersection. We pull up, and it's really beautiful, big glass doors, and this guy in it's a little dude in a Mad Hatter top hat, like a caricature, like pops the door open. He's like, hey, come on in. We're like, and he's the only guy I've seen smile this entire time we've been here, And so he pops the door open like, okay, cool. Like finally someplace that's, happy.
Yeah.
So we cruise in. He's like exceptionally happy.
Like a gray layer over everything.
Yeah, it's
like,
kind of well. That's the architecture too. Everything's like stone, like
but it's still
gray.
like post Soviet bloc.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could definitely see that in the architecture. So we go in there, and this is pretty nice. The fireplace is going. It's like a legit nice hotel. And so his top hat guy is like checking us in. So he gets to the front desk, and they're like, "Oh, well, we just magically upgraded you to this like best room in the hotel." I'm like, "Okay,
bitch,
thanks."
please.
and Disney has no military experience. Like, doesn't have any background.
She's not skeptic of anything.
No, but she was.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. She had no background to be skeptic,
Oh, okay.
but she's like, "Okay, this is kind of weird, And we magically got upgraded to this best room in the hotel. We're like, "Okay, cool, thanks, And then the fucking bellboy comes up. This dude's like 6'3", 270. He's like, his name's Igor or some shit. And I'm like, and he's just got a scowl on his face. Dude, you're 100% KGB, dude. Like, there's no 6'3", 270 dude.
They're like, put him in the room with all the cameras.
Dude, right. And we look at this guy, and I'm like, and she's noticing this shit too. She's like, fuck, all right. So he's like, "Oh, this Igor will get your bags." I'm like, I'll get my bag. It's cool, dude. Like, gotta get
Did he have a cane? Walk this way. Hand you the cane.
Dude, I mean, this guy looked like fucking Cain Valdez from the fucking UFC. This guy was massive. He looked like he knew how to. He moved like he knew how to fight. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Ukrainian pride tattoo over his chest. Yeah.
There's no way this guy was a fucking bellboy. So we're like, okay. So we go along with it, and we get in this tiny elevator. I mean, this elevator is like twice as big as this coffee table, and it's me and fucking Igor in Disney, this little top hat guy, that we're in there, and I'm thinking like, I don't want to put my back to him. Like, I'm thinking like Jason Bourne, like, what the fuck am I going to do in here? Totally. I'm going through all the fucking situations because it's like sketchy, dude. I mean, there's no reason to be sketchy, but it's so obviously sketchy that we're like, what the fuck is going on here? And so we get in there, and they take us to this like best room in the hotel. They upgraded us to. So magically, this T intersection, our room is like top floor, and it's facing the street. So it's got these two apartment complexes across from all glass on one door or one wall, and this apartment complex across the street, every single window is blacked out, but with the curtains open. So no curtains, just blacked out windows. And I'm like, and this little top hat guy is like explaining the hot tub and explaining all this shit. And I'm just like, and Igor is just like in the fucking doorway, like standing at this. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, what do we get into, And so Disney thankfully is like very aware of shit. And we're like, obviously this is the fucking listening post. Like, very obviously, like, you don't upgraded this suite, and the fucking bellhop's 270, and you guys very like listening, like, this very obviously like shit's going on here, And so the guy leaves, and we're like, we don't want to say anything because we're like, it's very clear, like
being listened to.
Yeah. So we're like, fuck, I say. So I text on my phone, and then she reads it, and that's how I write in my notes section, and she reads it, and that's how we're communicating. And then for the first like couple hours, we're like that, and and then we thought, well, yeah, of course they're listening to us. Whatever. They probably know my background, whatever. I'm literally just there fucking I'm a tourist, bro, And so we realized, like, actually this is probably the best thing because
if we get murdered, it's on film.
But I realized, like, okay, they obviously like know my background. Like, oh, cool, they're listening. That's actually a good layer of protection for us because they're observing us, which means we're probably not going to get fucked with. So it's like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we didn't say anything, that would. I mean, we weren't going to say anything anyway that would be out of line. But it was like, okay, we're just aware that we're being listened to and enjoy the thing. But the weird thing was, too, we went to breakfast the next morning, and they have their little cafe, which is like the size of this little office here. And we're sitting out there, and they're having... It occurred to me later there's probably a fake head of state meeting. But they had... What they were talking about would be like head of state stuff. And they were very obviously talking about like political shit. Like one table over from us at breakfast, we're the only people there. It's us and this table of like 6 people talking about head of state shit. And we're just like ordering fucking pancakes. And we're like, bro, this is fucking weird, So anyway, we just went about our day. But figured like, fuck it. Okay, they're listening to us.
How long were you there for?
I think like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It was a weird town. It was definitely a weird town. I almost got into a scuffle with some bouncers out there, and then I had to like kind of E&E and like force a taxi driver to like take us out because I was about to get we're about to get in a scuffle with these Polish guys.
I will say Kyiv does feel like Truman Show sometimes. I mean, Vitaly Klitschko was mayor, so you have a professional boxer who was mayor. You have Zelensky, who's president, who was a comedian.
Yeah.
That essentially.
There was a lot of shit.
Timoshenko, this like sexy Playboy model, was president at one point.
It seemed like a big show.
Yeah,
is what it was. But anyway, it was a great experience, and we had a good time there. It was cool, but it was not like still that top hat guy was the only guy I saw smile the entire time. It was kind of a weird situation.
Yeah.
That's just a hangover from when it was Russia. That's all. The Russians are so serious.
It's so fucking weird what I found though, being in Europe. Like everything was so like the food was so fucking cheap, and it was like good. Like that was the weirdest thing that I remembered. Was like I probably never done this before or since, but like in the one time I ate a salad over there, you're like eating like a fucking tomato. You're like, God damn, that's a fucking good ass fucking tomato. You're like, what the fuck are they putting in this shit? Same thing too. Like when we go to Greece, you're like eating like a Greek salad. And I'm like,
so good.
God damn, like what the fuck are they making these cucumbers out of?
I hated the food out of that. I lived off borscht for like the whole 10, 12 days.
Borscht.
That's the only thing I could eat, bro. All their shit is like super
borscht.
breaded. If we went to go get coffee,
they bread the coffee?
But dude, Starbucks doesn't even open until like 10 a.m. I'm like, so we're walking around town, like trying to get coffee,
like serving their coffee in a bread
nothing's
bowl.
Open.
Like,
this is where I got an appreciation for like good infrastructure and like capitalism, because they don't give a fuck. The service is fucking terrible everywhere. No, nothing's open. They just don't give a fuck.
Ryan never sounded more American in his whole life than when he said Starbucks doesn't even open until 10 a.m., bro.
Yeah,
that's a true patriot right there.
It was just frustrating me.
Your vagina is showing.
It's the short shorts.
Yeah. But no, some of that shit is
time.
fucking crazy, man. Like something as simple as a fucking cup of coffee. And you're like, dude, you guys can fuck up anything, man.
It's just the lack of infrastructure, dude. And we noticed that we went to London like 6 months ago. We were over there.
Yeah.
It was a great trip with another couple of friends of ours, and had a great time. But dude, you just don't realize like how America is like literally built different from the ground up, because it came later. Like you go to Boston, and it's so hard to drive around it because Boston was built.
The fucking roads are like
because they're made for carriages.
Built on like 7 hills or rabbit trails or something.
They're made for horses and carriages, and all of England was built before cars, and America was built after. So that's why it's so easy to get around American cities. But like London, there's no freeways in London. So if you want to go 10 miles, it's fucking an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half to go ridiculous. 10 miles. It's the city the entire way.
Think of it like a Navy ship. None of the three of us but really spent time on a Navy ship, but we can fake it like we know, right? Like, those things, most of those, or the Air Force, right? Like a B-52, some of those airframes were built in 1952. Hence the B-52, right?
Yeah.
And like, so... you can only bolt on so many legacy systems on top of that, right? And it's the same for infrastructure.
Yeah, it's a weird thing about timing, dude. I think America was just like caught the right wave at the right time.
That's the Jared Diamond Guns, Germs, and Steel principle.
I still got to read that book. I've heard a lot about that book.
Yeah, it's good.
What's a book?
Kevin's gonna wait till they make a movie about it.
Said no frogman ever. Who would have thought 3 frogmen, on a podcast?
Yeah. Well, where would you guys go next? Like, if you guys go on vacation, because we try to go once a year, but we don't know where to go next.
Where have you been? I know you've been to London. You've been to Ukraine and Prague. Like, where else have you gone in Europe?
Well, the only places I've been to in the military that I want to go back to is Australia, which is fucking cool. I love Australia. Yeah. But it's like a 24-hour ride to get there.
Yeah, it's like 14 hours to get to the fucking East Coast.
Yeah, it's just...
And that's from the West Coast, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which that's kind of a shitty thing. Like I did a project in King Kong Skull Island or Kong Skull Island, and I flew to Brisbane, and we were literally living in this place called Surfer's Paradise. I was like, holy fucking shit, dude! I had this massive fucking apartment there. Yeah. But I didn't really. I mean, I saw that area because I was working the whole fucking time, and I saw that immediate area, but I didn't really get to fucking see anything. I went to Sydney once. I went in and out of Brisbane and saw that, but I didn't really get to spend any time there. But I was literally there for like 2 fucking months and didn't really get to see shit. Except
our
for
Australia trip was so fucking dope, dude. We got the timing was
in the teams.
Yeah, timing was perfect for it. So I didn't know this at the time. We took a Learjet, like a private jet, basically out there, but it's a military private jet where. They have the whole side of the jet opens up, and you can put pallets inside the jet. But it's like a Bombardier or something. I don't know what the thing is, but
like a C9, right?
Yeah, that's what we
that what it
flew
is?
all over Africa.
C9B, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so it's like the size of
There's
a
a
private
bunch
jet.
of them in the
No,
alphabet
these are
soup.
fucking huge.
No, this is not that. This is like it's literally.
But
like
I mean, if you can put a fucking pallet in there.
Yeah, but it's not a big jet. It's like a small pallet.
Oh, it's not like a full-size aircraft pallet?
No, it's like a regular like G4.
Yeah,
a
it's
little
like
bit bigger than a G4.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Falcon 3, like a Falcon equivalent.
Yeah,
Like,
if you saw
Falcon
if you saw
300.
it from the outside, you think it was like a regular private jet. It doesn't look like anything crazy.
I thought you were talking about like a fucking C9 or a C40 or.
I'd have to check. I don't know what those are.
I don't know, but can we edit out the fucking private jet conversation? It's the most bougie shit. No, I like the one with 6 seats facing forward.
Bro, I'm probably the most bougie team guy anybody's ever met.
Well, it's one of those things. Like once you do shit a certain way, it's like when you ride when you get a first class ticket the first time, you see how fucking cool it is, and you're like.
But
Dude,
I gotta say,
want to go back and sit and fuck coach. Fuck that.
I mean, I agree with that, but I gotta say, like, I don't care about PJs, right? Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. Like
PJs?
Yeah.
Private jet.
Oh,
pajamas.
Shut up.
I thought you
Shut up.
I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I thought you were talking about like RJ. I'm like PJs.
No, I love it because you get to bypass security. You just walk. It's like the cleanest travel experience ever. It's unbelievable.
It is, but like just dollar for dollar, right? Like you kind of have to be at the centimillionaire, like like 80 million plus is kind of PJ level, just because the maintenance is so crazy and stuff. And like I'll take a 60-meter yacht over a PJ any day of the week and twice on Sundays, and I'll fly first class.
I used to think I was a jet guy, but I realized I don't really want to go anywhere. So now I think I'm probably more of a boat guy. Like I just want to sit on a boat someplace nice and have a cigar and listen to music.
Boats are a lot of fucking work, man.
That's why you go on
They're a lot of
boats.
work, but you can live on your boat. You can spearfish off your boat.
You can hire a good person too if he's has a brain, and you're like, hey, I just want you to do everything.
Yeah.
Kevin, that is the most theoretical shit that like smacks into the wall. As someone who owns boats and has like a new yacht on the way, like, don't you watch Below Deck? You ever watch Below Deck?
I do.
It's my guilty pleasure.
It's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
I watched one episode where this guy, he's leaving the boat after a week-long tour or whatever the fuck, and he's
hard deployment after a hard combat.
Yeah, he's tipping the fucking the captain and the first steward and all these other fucking dudes. He's got like $15,000 in his hand, and he goes, I wanted to tip you all 15 of this, but, and he starts going into how like some fucking.
It's like whittling it down.
Some little fucking detail wasn't like precise, and so he docked him like 12.5.
You didn't fold the towel into a swan on my bed with the proper wingspan. You know,
I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Bro?
But then you also see the crew like they're fucking on the master bedroom, like when you're off the yacht. I can't hire anybody like to run my boat because all I can think about is like below deck, like, oh, this person is screwing me.
For sure.
I do have a funny story about that I haven't told yet. We'll have to.
You were on below deck.
Well, kind of, dude. But so we'll have to bleep out his name. But I'll tell you his. So his name is Zach Haas. You know him.
Yeah.
You know him. You know Zach, right?
It sounds super familiar.
Yeah, he's like
Team guy.
Yeah, team guy, 6'3", 245. Like,
Yeah.
We were instructors together at SQT.
Oh yeah.
And so we'll just call him Jack Bass. That's kind of his code name. So he's
Nobody ever knows what that is.
Well,
It's like 2 letters off. Clever.
We were instructors together at SQT, and then he's been working at the farm for the last I don't know 5 years, something like that. So he's actually doing shit. So I don't want to say his real name, but Jack Bass I think is safe. But he was doing protection for this billionaire chick, and she's a really sweet girl. I don't want to give too many details about this, but she got herself in a situation in Russia where he noticed that, like, hey, some shit's about to go down. You need to get her out. And she was bitching about it, like, I'm not gonna fucking, like, you work for me, you're gonna fucking. He basically like carried her out of there, and found out later that she was about to get abducted. And she's like, oh my god, you basically fucking like saved me and saved my life and saved a ton of shit. So as a thank you. And this is when we were instructors together at SQT. So she told him, she's like, hey, as a thank you, I'm booking this yacht. And she sent him a picture of this yacht. It was the Fertitta Brothers yacht at the time.
Oh, it's
Fortunato.
Lodar or whatever. No, that's their new one. Hodar or whatever.
Fortunato is what it was at the time. It changed names, but it's Fortunato. It's like 5 stories. It's got an elevator and it's a sick yacht. And so she texted him a picture of it. Was like, hey, bring whoever you want, just, no drama, and bring whoever you want, and we're gonna spend 8 days on this yacht, and just meet me in DC, and we'll take my private jet to BVI, and then get on this thing. And we thought, like, this is so out of the realm of like a normal team guy thing. We're like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, sure. So as we were figuring out who to bring on this thing, so it was Jack Bass and Sowers and me and Joel Lambert. And but she was like, okay, well, let's bring in chicks too. But we're like, hey, we don't want any drama with these fucking chicks. So we had to like find a chick that none of us had fucked. Like, we couldn't find any.
They're scouring the earth. They're scouring the earth right now.
We were all on Rolodexes. We could not find a single chick that none of us had fucked, except for one. She's a sweetheart of a girl, and we offered her, like, this is a pretty fucking dope trip of a lifetime. She's like, no, I gotta go to my assistant manager's position at Starbucks. I can't get the time off. I'm like,
legit.
Yeah.
I gotta wash my hair.
So we go to DC, and we get, of course, Frogman style. We get fucked up the night before, and we're late to the fucking jet because we're halfway like, oh, this chick's full of shit, whatever, So it was me.
They show up 4 dudes deep, no chicks. Yeah.
That's a typical Frogman. So
this chick's like, oh my.
So it's me and Jack Bass and Mikey Sowers all hung over in this fucking Uber trying to get to the airport before she fucking takes off. So poor Joel was like actually on time. So he's on the jet with this chick, just trying to make small talk. So he's never met her before, So he's trying to make small talk.
How the fuck did he get there in
Joel's
time?
not exactly like he's a great dude, but he's not like exactly like a cunning linguist, Like he's terse, if you will.
Yeah. He's like mission focused.
Right.
Well, he can turn it on when he wants to, for sure. So she's basically like, if you guys are fucking 10 minutes late, like, I'm fucking leaving. And she's like, no shit, she would have fucking left. So thankfully we show up on time. And I got some pictures of this. Like, it's me and Mikey. We're like, holy shit, there's actually a jet here. Like, she's not fucking around. Like, she actually has a jet and we're here. So we got on the jet, all fucking hungover. We're like, wow, this is a real thing. So we fly into whatever fucking, it's in the BVI area. We fly into some fucking thing. And we get into this.
Epstein Island.
Basically. We get into this other small boat, and the small boat takes us to the big boat. And this is it's like a mega yacht. This thing is freaking huge. Yeah. And so we go there.
Like a crew of like 50 people.
Yeah, I think it was
probably 16 or 17.
Yeah, I think it's around 15 people there.
We're not talking a giga yacht. This is just like
it wasn't a giga yacht.
Just a big yacht.
Yeah.
But it was like 5 decks. It was massive.
That's pretty big.
And so we take this boat there, and we get on the back deck, and we're pulling up, and there's this one steward. What do you call the people that work?
The stew.
Yeah, the stew. This one guy.
Chief stew. Oh, guy? Guy's a deckhand usually.
Is he deckhand?
Yeah.
He wasn't the main guy, but he had the biggest personality. So
First
this guy's in a Borat uniform with like the Borat, bikini.
What?
He's in that, just like dancing on the
fuck?
back deck, and we're like, oh, it's gonna be that guy.
You were like, yes.
So we roll up on this yacht, and it was fucking insanity. It was like my introduction to like the next level of like real like billionaire money. She did not give a fuck about anything. It was insane. So a couple of small stories on this. So we had no bunch of Neanderthal frogmen, dude. We didn't know. So we're getting like shots of Louis XIV. Well, it was just funny. So we got a tray of Louis XIV with the thing, and we're spilling it everywhere and like throwing shots and whatever. She didn't
Mixing it with Coke.
We didn't have any drugs. Well,
No, I mean Coca-Cola.
oh yeah. and then fucking Joel's like jumping off. He jumps off the top, the hot tub on the top deck. So he jumps off, and then the captain just gets pissed because he's like, "Hey, motherfuckers can't be jumping off the fucking top deck. So I got to turn the whole boat around. You might get sucked under. Like assholes don't be jumping off the top deck." And then fucking
Just drop me a line. I'll be good.
and then everybody trips on the stairs down. So the guys were getting massages upstairs, all lubed up, and then Jack Bass fucking eats shit on the stairs and fucking tumbles and dislocates his shoulder. And so
damn.
he ended up fucking two chicks, two of the stewardesses on this boat. Anyway, it's a fucking crazy story, man. That's a whole other thing.
Wait, chicks?
Oh yeah. Who got the Borat guy?
Who got the-
Just stop burying the lead. You
Dude,
know?
there was one time we're in the hot tub and this Borat guy, they bring the Borat guy out fully naked, but he had whipped cream and strawberries like all over him. I don't know what they thought this party was, but he was just a character, so we're going with it. They bring him out on a spine board and they carry him out, and we're taking like shots off the spine board and like looking at this dude's dick in whipped cream and strawberries. We're like, I don't know. It was just wild,
Yeah,
dude.
it doesn't sound gay at all.
Yeah. And we're like, well, there's no other dessert on the boat, so
Who gets the banana?
Yeah, but it was so fucking surreal, that whole experience. I mean, you guys have partied with billionaires before. It's like, they live in a completely different world, dude. It's like not associated with reality whatsoever.
It's pretty crazy. I remember like going back to private planes and shit. Like really only experience I had with that shit mostly is just doing EP work and getting on jets with dudes. And obviously it's way fucking easier getting in and out of a place if you have a fucking private plane. Like we were doing security for this political guy, and I just remember every time dude, he was like, I wouldn't say he was cheap, but he didn't want to use any of his money. So, dude, we were like hooking and crooking all the fucking time. He was like, we'd take a private plane to an event, and then like the whole time, like his staff.
and then it's like 4 dudes in a hotel room.
Yeah. Well, then his staff. No, I mean, for the most part, we always had our own room and all that stuff. But during the event, his staff is rubbing elbows with people that they know have private planes and like a big enough plane that we could like get on and go back.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things where there's always an angle they're working. Whereas like I did another gig where the guy was fucking awesome fucking guy. He's probably the best guy I've ever worked for. And we were like, get on the plane and like, dude, we're barely up in the air, and he's like, hey, I ordered everybody steaks. So you good with a ribeye, or you want a filet? Or like, everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, we're only traveling like 2.5 hours. I'm like, this is fucking awesome, dude. You know?
Yeah. So she was not afraid to spend money, man. Our bar tab, we found out later, our bar tab for that 8 days or whatever was $50,000.
That's it.
Well,
Weak.
That was just those shots at Louis Trace
that you spilled.
So, speaking of spilling, another.
Wait, speaking of spilling, timeout. Fucking ringing the
piss
bell
again?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. We got like prostate cancer or some
All right,
shit.
well, give me 90 seconds. I'll finish this out, and then we'll take another break. So Mikey, when Zach. Sorry, cut that out. Jack Bass was all fucked up in these banging the hottest chick on the this chick was fucking hot, not just hot for the boat, like she was fucking hot, and so she's like making him feel better with blowjobs and shit. So anyway, Mikey was trying to bang another chick, but Mikey with drinks, bro. Like he gets fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And so, but there's limited damage he can do in a closed environment.
He's a small dude. Yeah.
But he fucking, I don't know if I should tell this story. So he pissed the bed, and so we didn't find this out till later. But he pissed the bed, and then the chick came in, so he like poured a drink on himself in bed. Like, oh, I spilled my drink on the bed. So found out later she had to pay $10,000 to replace the bed. That was part of her tab. Was like $10,000.
Fuck.
Yeah, because he.
On that note,
I'm
gonna piss the bed.
Right. Clapping back in. So again.
I like the clapping in.
It's kind of fun, right?
on my boat, it's too bougie to say yacht. On my boat, I like when people come on for the first time, they have to have a walk-on song.
Right.
Yeah, so you gotta.
What's yours?
What? I mean, I vary it up, but I've done everything from like Top Gun to like your stripper song, like pour some sugar. But I'm the boat owner, right? So I don't really have to do it. It's more like hazing for new people that come on.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would Kevin's be?
Oh fuck, man.
Or should we just wait to find out till you come visit me?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, you gotta have Motley Crue Wild Side queued up.
That is definitely you. That is.
I'm ready for that.
Okay, we'll have that. Kev, come on.
No, my song that everybody that knows me well knows, like my song is fucking Africa from Toto.
That's a good song.
Take the reins down.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah, every time that shit comes on, like all my neighbors that hang out with me and shit, like they're like send me videos. They're like, yeah, we just got in the fucking Uber and look what's playing. I'm like, oh shit. Like, so it's so awesome. Fucking funny. Yeah.
So I'll close out this crazy. I mean, there's a lot to that, but I'm not doing the story justice, and I got to see if I can find the videos. But the one video I know I have that I think we can clip in here is when Jack Bass was laid up in bed. Well, I guess two pieces of this. So when he got fucked up
with his broken wing from sliding down the stairs,
from taking somersaulting down the stairs, he got taken. They have this little boat. This is a Wally, but it's like $1.5 million boat.
A Wally is an insane boat.
And
gorgeous boat, like super expensive day boat, basically.
And that's what they're trailing behind this.
That's the tender.
Yeah,
that's the tender.
Crazy,
it's crazy.
Dude.
So they take the Wally boat and they take him to like some little small island, but they don't have a real doctor. They have this witch doctor, so they don't have any like real meds. So
rub some dirt on it.
So basically, they're like resetting it. He's just, I think he's got a picture. I'll have to ask him if I can get this. But it's him getting his shit reset, and he's just got a bottle of vodka. He's just chugging the bottle of vodka as they're resetting his shit.
Oh, he dislocated his fucking shoulder?
He was like legit fucked up for
Damn.
like a couple months after that. Yeah,
that sucks.
So he's back in his cabin in bed, and Mikey is such a fucking saint of a guy. So Mikey and we all had like UD t-shirts for some reason. We were just rocking around UD t-shirts this whole trip. And so Mikey gets up. Was probably still drunk from the night before. And so we go to check on Jack, and Mikey was trying to make him feel better. So he's up there in front of him, but he's like, hey, how you feeling? You feeling good? Ready to do some squats? So he's doing like these air squats with like these tiny little short UDTs on. He's like, you feeling good? Feeling good? Just putting his ass.
Like split the fucking ass out of a set of UDTs.
Totally. I think I have that video. I think I can clip that in. Man.
Dude, that is fucking funny.
As much as I love UDTs, they are not the high performance shorts.
No.
Yeah,
that
they're
I
not
want them to be.
shorts.
Yeah.
No.
But they're so awesome. We should treat them like the bird, like the Trident. You know, like if you see somebody else wearing UDTs, like you fucking earned that. What butts class were you in?
Yeah. You fucking turd.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody rocking UDTs just out in the wild.
Yeah, you're like, you know what, Kaj is not really a threat. Yeah.
I kind of want to do that though.
Yeah.
I was just out at the Lafayette pool last weekend with Stokes, getting way too fucking drunk.
Or at the Lafayette Hotel?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Where's that? In San Diego?
Yeah, it's the North Park area.
It's a pretty fun little
Isn't that
area.
the gay area?
No, that's Hillcrest.
But it's
Gotcha.
pretty vibey. But dude, we were like the center of attention because I was wearing like short shorts and like my cowboy hat because American Sun hat. Like that's just what I wear, you know. But I look like a fucking weirdo out there in my short shorts and my cowboy hat, you know.
In the gay area of town.
Dude, totally trying to get tan, and then so we're out there. But I was like, kind of want to do that again with UDTs. It'd be kind of funny. Kind of funny.
So.
Well, the fucked up shit I remember at the center was when they started issuing like spandex.
Oh yeah, for chafing.
Like, oh, well, your legs are gonna get all chafed. You're like, yeah, that's the fucking worst part of having to wear these fucking things. Like, why would you give the students spandex? Like, no, like none of us wore that shit before. You know, I do remember like doing a couple runs in like second phase where I had like blood running down the insides of my fucking thighs from just
Yeah, they're not performance
literally
shorts.
They
that's
fucking
for sure.
suck, dude.
They're legacy though.
But they look fucking awesome.
They look awesome, dude.
They look fucking awesome. And right, like
Fucking Magnum PI
and Naked Warrior, right? That's the
Yeah.
that's the history of the term, right?
Yeah.
Because they're, for people who don't know, they're like tan. For people who don't know, you're
Yeah.
gay, but like no, they're tan
they're nude
and they
colored.
look basically nude. Like so, yeah. That's
Dude,
right.
I still remember the first time I was coming on base, and I didn't know this was a real uniform, where you used to be able to wear UDT shorts and your full blouse top. And I saw, where's this? Maybe it was Jeff DeClerc, some jack dude at Team 1, but he was just wearing that, like waiting to come off base, but he had his full top on, but just like the UDT shirts on around. I thought he was naked from the waist
yeah.
down. I thought he was just
you
wearing
thought he
a
was
fucking
like shirt
bro.
cocking, yeah, just straight shirt cocking.
Yeah, I thought
Porky
it was
Pig in it.
I thought it was Porky Pig in it, dude. I'm like, wow. Yeah,
So
it
epic.
looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things
That was
are
cool in the teams when you could just wear that shit to the country store. You wear your top and your UDT shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And your boots.
Yeah, and you're fucking that gay cover.
Wait, what? The
8-pointed fucking.
yeah, the
or
starched one or
yeah.
whatever.
It was definitely a unique look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta bring it back.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeff Gum, he's trying to bring it back. Short shorts, you know?
Exactly,
They don't
dude.
call them longs. They call them
Yeah, didn't he? What he like made a company, right?
Yeah,
the
Sunga Life.
Sunga Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have them all in the warehouse back there.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, we fulfill them for them. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
rock some.
dope stuff.
You'd look great.
Oh yeah. Do they make a size 42 Sunga? Sunga, is it Sunga Life or just Sunga?
Sunga Life.
Sunga Life,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because it's really a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know?
Come hang out at Lafayette Pool, dude. Dude, it was pretty funny because Sean and I were over there, and everybody has their pool deck chairs, so there's nobody sitting around the deck area. But it's kind of when it's overcrowded, I didn't know this, but you put your towel down and you just sit around the deck. So we're the only people not in chairs. So we just sat like front and center. I felt like center stage, bro. We have this entire pool. We're
Cowboy
front center.
hat.
People are sitting there pointing and
Dude,
looking at
I
you
mean,
like.
it literally looked like a fucking movie. And then I got too drunk and like almost drowned myself trying to get out of the pool. It did
Dude,
not
what is
feel
Stokes
cool.
doing now? Isn't he going to school or some shit? Or
Dude, he's got so much education. It's crazy.
dude, he went to like Columbia, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of education.
But did he get smarter?
do any of us?
No, we just said he went to Columbia.
Yeah,
Crazy talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's actually working on a big transition now. So I'm stoked for
Turn
him.
into a train.
Maybe he's
Oh
getting
my
shorter shorts. But yeah, I'm excited. I actually got to check in with him after this and see how his new transition went. But I'm excited for him.
Oh, right on.
You know,
Yeah.
that's gonna be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for him too. Although, in all seriousness, he would be a really ugly woman. Like,
Ugh.
Yeah, some people would not make.
I would not recommend this for Sean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's definitely a man's man.
He's a dude's dude, all the way.
Ugh. Right on.
All right, so let's talk about life, man.
Sure.
Because you had that company that do you want to talk about how you built that, and like I'm sure there's some challenges and like you went through a ton of shit to build that. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like the summary, like the shorthand is, I was like in the team's total 13 years of service, but some of that was reserve time, some of that was active duty time, kind of jumping back and forth across the line. But like basically a decade in the military, then I was a decade in media. I like to say I was like a frogman on TV before it was cool to be a frogman on TV.
Yeah.
Took a lot of shit for that. First
Adopters always do.
Yeah, I definitely paved the way. But it was cool. It was cool to see like then a whole bunch of people like after the wars ebbed, like transition, like some of our friends, I mean, that's how Kevin and I met, actually. Like, Kevin and I didn't know each other in the teams. Like, we met afterwards working on a TV series.
Yeah, just fucking crazy. Like, out of nowhere, Tommy's like, hey, there's another team guy coming out here. And automatically, I'm like, oh, shit. Am I going to have to burst this guy's bubble? Because, you know, you meet so many fakes.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, and then he said your name. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've heard of you.
And some of them are real, and you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's great.
And it's been awesome to see guys, like, succeed in that way. It's funny too, because, like, I mean, Kevin's really, like, he's been paving the way in a lot of ways, but, you know, everybody when they're like getting out of the military has these, like, crazy ideas of what they're going to do, and everybody flirts with the crazy idea of, like, oh, I'm going to be a military advisor in Hollywood. Like, yeah, sure you are. And then Kevin went and did it.
Yeah.
And not only did he do it, like, he helped, like, define the path for, like, a whole generation of people doing it, which is really cool. It wasn't the thing about military technical advising. Like, I did it a little bit when I first got out, but I was more like in the non-scripted world, journalism world, right? And I would like
documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, I would moonlight as a consultant, but it was kind of a shitty ass job, right? It was basically like, how do you wear your uniforms proper, or how do you wear your ribbons proper on the uniform, making sure people...
Fuck, I don't know.
Maybe that's why I was so bad at it or whatever. But then, like, Kevin and a couple other guys who followed in his footsteps came in and turned it actually into, like, an above the line creative consulting role, and, like, were, like, deeply involved in the actual shaping the movies. And I think that was, like,
I'm still below the line.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. No, but no, that's
it was a
good
transformation.
Point.
It was really amazing.
And it wasn't without, like, a lot of other, like, Harry Humphreys.
Of course.
Luckily having him, you know, in being in his hip pocket, kind of learning shit the hard way is... You know, he was able to kind of teach me shit that I would have had to have learned the fucking hard way, you know. But luckily having him and falling back on a military retirement, which is fucking huge, because, like, I don't know how many times I'm, like, relearning shit and learning a new trade and going, fuck, man. Like,
yeah, you're the new guy again, dude.
Yeah, and not getting paid for shit, like you're saying, like, shitty-ass fucking... You know, jobs where people are like, oh, hey, could you take a look at this script and, like, how would you word this? And you know, doing shit in good faith. Thinking,
a lot of free labor.
Yeah,
a lot of free labor to prove yourself and to earn your keep.
Yep.
Right.
And then eventually, but I saw it when we were on Jack Ryan, right? Like, if there was a question, I'm not talking like a technical question, I'm talking a creative question. Like, Kevin was the de facto, like, vote splitter. You know, the producers, half the producers would be here, half the producers. So, like, Kevin was rewriting that narrative, like, in real time on that show, and that was cool. I had that experience a little bit. I was Aaron Sorkin's private advisor on this show called Newsroom. Sorkin's, like, a legend in Hollywood. He wrote, like, A Few Good Men. Like, some of the most iconic lines in Hollywood come from Aaron. Great guy, by the way. Super pro-military. Really an extraordinary American. So,
phenomenal writer.
Amazing
Phenomenal.
writer. I mean, I almost without peer in Hollywood, right? Really, really incredible. So, I worked with Sorkin a lot. So I did basically, you know, my time in the teams. Then I was in media. There was some overlap because I was still in the reserves. And then after a decade in media, I pivoted out and I started this. I was doing a lot of work in veterans philanthropy, like helping mentor guys, helping give them a sense of purpose after they got out. And at some point I realized, like, listen, you can give veterans all the purpose in the world, but if you, like, come back to $30,000 of credit card debt or, like, you're underwater on your finances, like, purpose matters, but purse matters.
Yeah.
Also.
That's a good way to put it.
And I fell in kind of accidentally with this, my co-founder, who was a former Navy intel officer, and, you know, you guys know, like, intel operations, like, hand in glove. But he was a reserve intel officer. His real career was on Wall Street. He spent 20 years on Wall Street.
Wow.
And he had this new concept for teaching military guys how to invest. So we built this fintech company, financial technology company, whose goal was to, like, kind of close the wealth gap, right? Because in large part, in the military, and I'm sure this is, I know you guys well enough to know, like, there was like a portion of our career, like, we were not focused on money.
No.
We were focused on gunslinging and on fighting.
Which is kind of what you have to be focused on.
Yeah. And like our financial health was like a second, a third, like a fourth after thought. And I'm as guilty of this as anybody else, right? And like, you know, we know where Ryan's combat pay went, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't have any combat pay. If I did, it'd go to my bar tab.
Yeah, exactly. We know where like he spent his per diem. It was in singles, right? You know.
Well, I just remember my first platoon. My first OIC was Jay Hennessy.
Oh my God,
great fucking guy.
Jesus.
And I remember, I think before
I love Jay, by the way.
He's great. Before we deployed, he had this guy that because he went through OCS. He didn't go to the academy. He went to, I think he went to Villanova. But,
I think that's right.
He had this guy that he went to school with. It was in San Diego, and he was like a wealth manager, planner, whatever. Came in and talked to everybody, and probably of course, biggest fuck up was not taking this fucking dude's advice. And he's like, he goes, dude, the earlier you invest, like, the better off you're going to be, and the less the more impact it's going to have. Right. So he goes, dude, for especially any enlisted guy, like, dude, you guys had to give up $100 a month for the first 12 months you're in for like the GI Bill. He goes, take that $100 and just put it in something. Like, it doesn't even have to be like, put it in like GE, something that's going to grow, that's constantly going to fucking grow. And I was like, fuck that.
You're like,
that's a bar tab, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, seriously. I mean, when you're an E4 in the fucking teams and you're a new guy, like,
you're making like $2,000.
You're making shit, and you're fucking buying everything. You're like, this fucking sucks. So I will say that was one of the fucking huge blocks of wisdom that I should have taken. And now I'm giving that advice to my kids.
Best advice I ever took.
Yeah,
totally.
Telling that shit to my kids, going like, look, if you start investing before you're 20, even if it's $100, and my kid, you know, especially my boys who were child actors, and they have, I mean, shit, they probably have more money in the bank than I do. They have and they get a stipend from the VA, and they get, you know, money here and tuition paid for and shit, and they have jobs, and they, you know, so I'm like, hey, look, take a portion of that fucking money that you're going to be getting. I know you don't need a lot of money to survive as a college student. They're not even 21 yet, so they can't even really technically drink. So same shit. I'm like, look, put $100 fucking dollars in a whatever, you know. I
mean, like, look, along with memorizing, you know, like the feet per second muzzle velocity of an M4, the, you know, blast kill radius of a 40 Mike HEDP, they should also make team guys like understand like the law of compound interest, which Warren Buffett called the eighth wonder of the world, because shit's going to matter when you get out a lot more than the muzzle velocity of your SIG.
The crazy thing is they actively go against that. So
I know
when I was at SQT and I was driving my Lambo up and parking it in the instructor parking lot, and I had a pretty significant mullet at the time. They never said shit about the mullet or my grooming standards or anything, but they did give me shit about the Lambo parking it there, and they literally said word for word, it's bad for the students to see somebody get out and be successful.
Which is fucking crazy.
That is insane.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's word for word what they fucking said. It's unbelievable. Which I understand what they're saying. It's like, dude,
they could have worded it different.
Yeah, it was like, well, I mean, like when you're a team guy and you're especially a new guy, your focus should be on being the best new guy you can be, being the best operator. Like,
encourage these guys to stay and do the fucking job that they were trained to do.
Don't go write books or do podcasts. I don't recommend podcasts because it's not a moneymaker. But don't be an entrepreneur. Don't think about this shit. Just focus on being the best new guy you can be. But investing is something separate from that. That's not. It's not the way, especially the way you're describing it. It's not a side quest. It's not a side project. It's not a different venture. It's just putting money aside for your future. It's a totally different endeavor.
Body armor for the rest of your life is what it is. And it's as essential, like, you know, health is wealth. That's true. But wealth is also health, right? And even not just, psychologically, statistically, empirically, right? People who are wealthier live longer lives because they have better access to medical care and stuff like that.
Money solves a lot of problems, dude. It really does.
It really, really does. And look, I too wish I had been like more front sight focused on that. Of course, be the best team guy you can be. But how many team guys do we know that have like come back from deployment to like, papers on the quarterdeck and lost half their net worth, or they're in debt, and how much has that fucked up their SEAL careers?
Yeah.
Right. So So anyways, and there's always been this like gap between the private wealth community and the military community.
Well, that's another good point. Like, it's really hard to focus on being a good team guy when you're in massive debt and your personal life is in turmoil.
Yeah, and that's true when you're in the teams. It's true when you're out of the teams as a veteran. So kind of by accident, I sort of fell into this space, and I recognized, as I had done a couple entrepreneurial ventures prior to having this bigger play, and I saw a gap in the market, and there's sort of like financial health in the budgeting sense, but there's really two Americas, right? Like, and especially in COVID, we saw this. There was those who were in the stock market and those who were not in the stock market. And there's this big, what we call like a V graph between the two. And you're either on this upper end of the curve or you're not, right? And, still traditionally over time, the greatest way to build wealth in America, especially intergenerational wealth, is to be invested in the public equities market. So all I'm trying to do is nudge guys over to that side of the equation. And what's amazing is you'd think there'd be a lot of people doing it, but there's not. Did you guys go to jump school at Benning?
Yes.
Yeah, right. We all did,
Well,
right?
Twice.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to bring that up.
It's my fault. Yeah.
But I remember when I started the financial services company, I harkened back to my time at Benning, and I was like, oh, yeah, what's outside every Army base, what they call the Ville? Right. And like, what's, and it's the same thing every time. It's used car lots. They'll sell you
37% interest on,
exactly.
It's crazy.
Strip clubs,
tattoo
Ryan's
joints.
Particular poison.
A lot of ways to lose your paycheck, bro.
Payday lenders.
Yep. Check cashing place.
And exactly, check cashing. And so, there's this entire ecosystem of businesses that are actually designed to take service members' money. There's nobody designed to actually grow their wealth. In fact, even you guys still, I'm a USAA member. I've been a USAA member for 30 years.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
They're cool. They're nice.
Some of the best shit.
Right. What happens if you go on the USAA website and click invest? Redirects you to Charles Schwab.
Yeah.
They sold off their investing side of the house to Schwab, which has nothing against Schwab, but no military affiliation whatsoever. So even USAA, which is the
military
the
intrinsic
of this, was not interested in the wealth building. They're good on the banking, they're good on the insurance, all of that stuff, but they weren't interested in really truly building wealth. So I saw this gap in the market, this opportunity. Along with this intel officer, we built this company, which was an investing and education platform for the military. And then and it was part of my team guy reinvention. It was my third phase of life. First military, then media, and then I was in money, and I had to teach myself. I didn't know finance. I didn't know financial services. I had to teach myself that domain. We built this company, and then we sold it about almost 2 years ago now to a publicly traded company called Siebert Financial, which was started by Muriel Siebert, first woman on the floor of the stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, you told me that last night. It sounds cool.
It's been a ride, man.
Yeah.
It's been a ride. So that's where I am now. Now I'm on the other side of the equation. I do a lot of investing. I do a lot of angel investing, a lot of mentoring, and I try and keep most of my focus towards the military community. That's it.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
That's me. And some stunt work on the side, right? Little podcasting.
Yeah.
So you've
that's awesome though.
I want to say reinvented yourself a bunch of times, but
I have.
But you've because you've kept the core. I feel like you've done a really good job of layering. You learn something, you layer. You learn something, so you're constantly adding to your repertoire of team guy, financial. You're learning and you're building. In a lot of these people that listen to the show are in a transition period, whether they're older, younger, whatever it is, but a lot of them are looking to do something different, and not to say reinvent themselves, but looking to do something new. What was the best thing that you learned, or what advice would you give to somebody who's looking to do something new? And what should they look out for, and what should their main focus be on that?
So I only know it through the lens of my own experience, but my path has been that everything has been like sort of cumulative, right? But it doesn't work if you don't have that core foundational experience. And I think for all of us sitting here, we're lucky, we're blessed to have had as much success as we've had. But it all comes back to that, like doing something hard in our 20s. It's a little bit of a variation on your 20s you learn, in your 30s you earn, right? Yeah. But we all did something really fucking hard. In fact, we did probably, I would argue, the hardest thing you can do, which is we were in the SEAL teams. And that was the foundation for everything else that I did in life. And then even when I accidentally fell into media, right, I was a war correspondent, using the money to pay for grad school, but I was essentially like leveraging my experience in the SEAL teams because of my understanding of conflict and national security.
So you're layering a new skill on old skill.
That's exactly right. And then I did that again in finance. So it's not like, yes, I started over as a new guy with the attitude and the humility of being a new guy, but it's not like I abandoned all of this experience that I had in the past. So
still eyes wide open, ears wide open, like you're still focusing on.
Well, that makes sense too, because you have so much. If you have so much equity in some position or some knowledge base, it would make sense to leverage that into something better to grow that, rather than starting over and like I'm not going to start something new in construction, because I don't know shit about construction. But it would make sense.
And a brass tacks example is media, right? Like the traditional path, media or film or whatever is like sort of a meritocracy in the fact that you don't need any credentialization to do it. But most people have to like work as like a PA, which is the shittiest job in the world. Makes like $150 a day, and you like get sushi for the assistant director, and they got to pay their dues there, and then they like kind of work their way up the ladder. And because
like 16-hour fucking days too,
insane,
like those
right?
motherfuckers,
and that's kind of the ascension pipeline in Hollywood. And what I was able to do, because I had this other cadre of experience, I was able to like jump up above that to this sort of like producing level, and I was able to skip a few of the like lower rungs on the ladder in order to come in at a higher level, and then I was able to do that again in finance. But it doesn't necessarily make it any easier. Like you still like all the hard work and all that shit applies.
Yeah, everything new is hard, man. I would say, like, if anybody's listening to this and they're looking to do something new, I would say, and this is the same advice I give to everybody when I talk to them on this topic, is that the easiest way to make more money is to do more of what you've already done, right? But you can also leverage that and be like, okay, this area that I'm in is really difficult, really tough. Like, what are some blue ocean things I can take the skill set that I have? What are some other things that this skill set applies to, even if it's a small segment, 20% or whatever? What can I apply this to? And then be a new guy again, learn, progress, leverage the knowledge that I have, the assets that I have, the connections that I have into this new realm, and then grow faster than I could if I was like, a 21-year-old something, starting from scratch. And
I would say the hardest place to achieve escape velocity, like, even my sister, who's this extraordinary, brilliant, right? I got all like the brawn, she got the brains in the family. She's a triple board certified doctor or whatever. Shit. The hardest part of escape velocity to achieve in terms of financial health and freedom is this idea of trading your time for money, of being a wage slave, right? Yeah. Even on set, like Kevin, you've had tremendous success on set, but you're still working at like, whatever the stunt coordinator rate is. It's a generous rate or whatever, but you're still trading your time for money. The real level up is when you can figure out how to increase, this is businessy or whatever, your net present value to the place where you're not trading your time for money, but that like your money is making money, you're making money while you sleep. And I think everybody should, even if you're trading time for money in order to bank that money and invest it, and then like, investing strategy is a very big funnel. Yeah. But I don't care what you're investing it in. But the idea that your money is making money instead of you making money, that is the That's the seismic shift in terms of wealth building that everybody should aspire to get to.
I think there's different evolutions of like entrepreneurship when you're first starting out. A lot of it is basically hourly, right? Like you're doing a service or a product or whatever for hourly, and then you have people that are doing it for you, and you can scale that. But I feel like the evolution of entrepreneurship is into some kind of investing. I haven't got there yet. I'm still investing in my own companies, which are may or may not be a good fucking idea. I don't know. But I think you've done that and done well in it. So what are the things that you look for in something you invest in? Like if somebody's in that position where like, hey, I've kind of done well in entrepreneurship. I'm interested in investing in stuff, but like, what do you look for in an investment?
Yeah. So it really depends like what type of investment we're talking about. First of all, you have to like, you can't invest until you save. So you have to have like enough money to just invest overall. Yeah. And there's like a whole like portfolio approach based investing strategy. Like the fintech company that I built, which is a self-directed investing, like I got thousands of military families to like buy their first stock, their first public equity, right? And that was a big win for me. In fact, we have this thing on our application, on our investing company called the leaderboard. You know, it's like buds, like, you know, just rack and stack everyone. Yeah. And at the end of every day, week, and month, we rack and stack all of the people's portfolios, not by dollar amount, but by percentage, and see who's like number one and who's number two and who's number three, like, you know. So I took that actually straight out of CrossFit, right? Off the leaderboard. I call it the leaderboard, you know, and it's actually a tacit education tool, because you could go in and you could see like, holy shit, Kevin Kent 1, 2, 3, 4 is at the top of the leaderboard this month, and you can go and look at his portfolio and see what he's holding. Like, oh, he's holding Palantir and Apple, and you could copy those trades if you wanted to, right? So there's a whole like sort of like investing public equities, you know, portfolio approach, and I would say that the conventional like money management, wealth advisory stuff makes sense there. You want to be diversified in your portfolio and stuff like that. So, and you got to think about your financial battle space, full picture 360. So you have a portion, and most of that, by the way, should be what they call a core satellite investing strategy.
Core satellite?
Core satellite. So you have your 80% of let's say this is like, I'm talking like stocks, bonds, like that kind of shit. 80% of it, S&P 500 predictable. Yeah. Then you take 20% and you're placing it in like other little bets there. That's a very classic investing strategy. And in no way
like
would
your high risk shit is like 20%.
That's right. And I think those are like good tried and true practices, right? What I do now on the sort of like early stage startup investing, you know, when people pitch me companies and they're like, you know, will you invest in my company? Different angel investors have different approaches to that stuff. There's this guy, veteran, Paige Craig, good friend of mine. You know, he's Marine, and you know, Paige is one of like the most prolific angel investors in Silicon Valley and now defense tech. And you know, Paige used to take his like his single investment strategy. He was known for giving like small $10, $20, $50,000 seeds to investors. His single investment strategy was he would take the founders out and get them drunk and see how they like performed. And like,
well, solid.
Shit, I like it.
Yeah. That's how he started. Yeah. By that venture, we're all genius angel investors, right? Yeah, by that metric. But you know, no. So like when I look at new companies, like the first thing that I look at is it in my core domain of expertise, right? I never want to be dumb money. So like,
that's what I was going to ask. Is like, is it just you write a check and forget about it, or is you write a check and then you guide them on like, hey, this is something that I have experience in. I'm going to help you with connections, network.
Yeah, I only invest in companies that I can add strategic value to, because of like, you know, by virtue of like, you know, other things I know in the space, or like relationships I can build, or just like straight mentorship to the founders. Like I have a new venture called Ammo-Base, which is an online ammunition company, and I have two young founders. So I'm a co-founder of this company, but I'm not the operator. Like these two young hustlers are the operators. And you know, the idea.
Plug it. What's the name of it?
Ammo-Base, baby.
Ammo-Base.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
If you buy, you know, ammo's ammunition.
Ammobase.com?
What? Ammobase.com?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, and like, look, if you like guns, if you like bullets, you know, if you buy bullets, buy from Ammobase.com, right? Veteran owned, veteran operated.
Well, dude, I don't think it's I don't think you have to get your ID check now for buying ammo in California anymore.
Yeah,
I
It
think.
changes all the time.
It's actually state by state. And
Yeah.
the funny part is we actually just connect direct to the manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
The reason I like the business is I saw it, and this will give some insight into my, like what I do as an investor, is I took a look at the market, or these guys did first, and then I, got under the hood and looked at their business model, and I saw a sort of classic place that was ripe for disruption, where you have all these sleepy incumbents, you have all these like old websites that look like .com 1.0, where it's
AOL stuff.
AOL Reddit style, 8 clicks to buy, right? And these guys built like a great new interface, like 3 clicks to buy, right? We'll get that down to 2. Double tap to buy, right? So a slick UI, mobile focused, and I saw like what is essentially was a sleepy incumbent industry, something that I knew a lot about. I saw 2 young founders, because you invest in team, who I thought had like the fire and the hustle, and also had like all of the right ideas about like, hey, we want to like support veterans and support military and all that stuff. And I just saw a place that was ripe for disruption. So I say, this is a good place to take a bet. I have a bunch of other criteria. We were talking about content. I don't care what kind of company you are, if you come and pitch me and you don't have a content or a comms plan, a communications plan, like you're not going to be successful in this modern media environment.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. Like with this podcast thing, we're changing things up, and dude, it's been working. Like right now, like 4x'd our exposure for everything just with with changing our strategy on this, moving to like from audio based to Instagram based, and then moving that to video. It's been a completely different strategy, and it was just looking at the data, figuring out like, hey, where's our customers, or where are people that we connect with, right? Like what do they want? Who people enjoy this conversation? Who do we want sitting next to us in this thing that we like, hey, this is a good conversation, they'd be interested in this and having a drink with us. Right, but it's been the audio thing is kind of, I don't want to say dead, but it's just super hard to grow, and we realized that it was really hard to grow, and we're like, well, where is it easy to grow? And social media is the next level of it. It's just connection, it's communication with people.
Well, one of the other things that I look for in newcos, in companies or in startups, is things that are surfing giant demographic waves or giant trendline waves, right? So I think the wave that you guys are surfing on the podcast is that, like, look, TV disrupted radio, and then the internet disrupted TV, and then streaming, disrupted Blockbuster and all of this stuff, right? And now we're at a time where YouTube is sort of consuming everything, and like long form audio, and YouTube is the big trend. Yeah. Everything is moving towards that online. So I think you guys, once again, are at the sort of leading edge of that. Similarly in the ammo business, what I saw is that still something like, 70 or 80% of ammo is still bought in like retail, like point of sale, right? And if you think about it's crazy, right? And if you think about this like wildfire of like retail being like just evaporated by online, but that raging wildfire for some reason hasn't quite hit ammunition yet. But in my mind, like, of course, in the future, most people are going to be buying their ammunition online. It just makes sense. It's more convenient. It's easier. In fact, I
think the only thing with that is shipping. Yeah, because it's fucking heavy.
It is, but I mean, like, you're still buying all your stuff on Amazon, right? In fact, there's a point where I wanted to call the company Ammo-zon, but there was like a bunch of IP issues. We're like the Amazon. We're like the Amazon for ammo. But yeah, like, look, it seems inevitable that this conversion from retail to online is going to happen in ammunition. It just hasn't happened yet. So I said, let's get ahead of this, of this trend line, and let's do it.
So you've talked with a lot of founders. What's like the craziest story that you've seen or heard where like you have like, not where it went well, where it blew the fuck up, and you're like, you went out with somebody and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm absolutely not investing in your shit.
I don't know if I have like a personal story, but what I will say is that, like, you always think of yourself as this utter genius, and it is like so not true. The number of shit that I have passed on and missed, like when I was at Harvard, there was this guy who like wanted to build this like Navy SEAL obstacle course, and he came to me, and like at that time I was getting like 2 pitches a week for like Navy SEAL adjacent businesses, and this guy is like, and then we'll electrify people, and they'll be crawling underneath barbed wire and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, this was Australian dude, and I was like, and he's like, look, you just like build the course and I'll build the business, and we'll split it 50-50. Anyways, it was like Tough Mudder. I was like, well, missed that one.
Dude, it's so crazy because that's the thing. Like, I would never think that people would pay to do that.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
The Spartan races and the fucking, you're like.
In my mind, I'm like, I would
wants
never.
to get their ass kicked on the weekend.
Except we did that for half our lives.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that if you paid me, and people are paying to do it. It's I've been wrong so many times about the things I thought what the market wanted.
Yeah, totally. And so what the main thing that I do, and this is all just distraction because I can't really come up with a story where it's blown up, although I've had plenty that have like gone south. Like, you miss a lot more, and this is why you have to have a diversified portfolio approach, not just to your public equities investment, but to your startup portfolio and all of this stuff. But like the number of times that everybody misses. Nobody bats 1,000.
Nobody's going to hit 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000, 100% of the time.
Yeah, but you're looking for, a couple of those, 3x, 5x, 10x, 100x.
Are you looking for anything
returns.
on the personality side, like the jockey? Like, you bet on the jockey, but like, what are you looking for? Key things in that type of personality.
So, look, I counsel like a lot of military people, or mentor a lot of military guys into startup landia, right? And the main thing that I want them in terms of a philosophical approach to startup land is I want them to embrace the scientific method. That is like really key. So you see a problem in the world, which military guys are really excellent at. And then you have a hypothesis about how to solve that pain point, right? And military guys are also really excellent at that. And then you go out and you build. Sometimes military guys are not the best at this. It's kind of a 50-50. Then you go out and you build an MVP, a minimum viable product, and you get that shit into the market as quick as possible. And team guys and especially soft guys are really good at like bringing idea to execution with that initial product. So we're tracking here in terms of like military guys being good entrepreneurs. So far, so good, right? And so in scientific method, what you're doing is you're testing your hypotheses, right? And here is where military guys and even soft guys can fall, and they can fall really hard when they're building companies or pursuing their dreams and their ideas, is you then have to take that minimum viable product or that first beta test of your idea or your product in the market, and you have to be militant and rigorous about the data and the feedback that you're receiving, because what you think doesn't matter. What really matters is what the market
That's such
thinks.
a hard pill to swallow, dude.
It's such a hard pill to swallow, right? God. And you got and it's also about like the questions you ask and the feedback that you get, because like, look, everybody's going to tell you like it's a good idea, right? But are they willing to pay for the good idea? And are not just your family and friends willing to pay for your good ideas, the market really. And then here's the critical part, is when you get that objective data back, just like if you were running a scientific experiment, when you get that objective data back, you then have to be able to pivot. And a lot of soft guys and a lot of military guys, they fall so in love, and a lot of entrepreneurs from the civilian world, they fall so in love with their own idea, and they're so convinced that their original thesis is correct, and they're not onboarding all of this feedback and all of this data from the real world, that they continue to charge through. And those same skills that served us so well in BUD/S and in combat of like never quit, like run through the wall, can actually do a disservice to us in entrepreneurship, because like that's where you really have to learn how to iterate and to make fast pivots. And that's where I see guys fall down. Yeah,
it's hard, dude, because I know there's been so many times. So we work with a lot of different brands and companies.
Oh, right, because you see like a shit ton of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and it's like I see them all the time, and even two levels of this. In my own stuff, there's just so many times where I had a design where I'm like, oh, this is going to be gangbusters. I spent so much time dealing with it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be killer. Everybody's going to love it. And it's just fucking crickets, bro. And then I come up with another design just as like a filler, like, we'll just get something out there.
Be a cock with wings. This would be great.
Yeah, and then it goes gangbusters, and you have to kind of swallow that and be like, hey, it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the customer wants. It matters what the data wants. But then also you have to kind of walk that line between what you want and your vision for the company and your vision for this brand or whatever it is you're building, and also what the market wants. And it's tough because you can't just do what your vision is and disregard the market because then you're making no fucking money. But also you can't just do what the market wants because then you're
just following everybody else and you're never fortunate.
Yeah, and your business has no soul and it's gonna get crushed. So you kind of have to walk that line of like building something that you still believe in and that you still love, but also paying attention to the market and listening to them. And it's been, I think, very difficult. But even some of the 8-figure brands we work with, they still don't know, man. They come out with a design and like, we don't know if it's going to hit or not. And we don't know. And we have almost, over 18 years in the marketplace and we still can't look at a design like that's going to be a fucking hitter. We think, but it doesn't matter until you get it out there in the real world and see what it takes. And then it's probably like a movie where like you think it's fucking badass and then, what does the audience think?
The industry is so fickle about shit like that. Like, which it's fucking weird too, because you look at shit that comes out and you're like, why the fuck would they remake that? And then it like blows up. I mean, look, there's a fucking Tron movie, another Tron movie coming out. To me, I'm like, how the fuck does that make any sense? And it'll make like $300 million, or some shit.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of fucking nerds that like to go see fucking stupid shit about lights on motorcycles and all this dumb shit, I'm sure there's probably a plot to the fucking movie, but there, I mean, fuck, look at the Fast and Furious. They made like 9 fucking movies or 10.
I know.
Yeah.
But some of that shit is like a race to the bottom too, right? Because the industry is dying. Like it's absolutely dying. And you have all these executives and they're so risk averse.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that they can do is take the safe bet, which is something that already has an existing IP.
Yeah.
And then, but you can only like slice that so many times and get like the bad permutation over the bad permutation, the bad permutation.
Well, that's exactly the example of like listening too much to the market and not pursuing the vision.
Yeah.
We're like, bro, you're just going to eventually end up with something soulless that nobody cares about. Like you gotta roll the dice.
But it makes money, so they don't give a fuck
for a while until it doesn't. And this is like the great paradox of entrepreneurship. And there is some of it's luck, some of it is gut. Like it's just you have to make these right decisions at these micro focal points between trusting your own instinct and listening to everybody else. Because entrepreneurs, like, you have to be able to see the world not as it is, but as how you want it to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't be like so stubborn and like married to your own vision that you just run into a brick wall.
Got to be able to flex.
Yeah, it's a fine line to walk.
The ego is a big one too. Not being married to something and go, fuck, man. Like keep making the same bad decision just because,
Yeah, just because you like, it's going to work. Because the funny part is about entrepreneurship, like you need that. Like you need to believe in your product. You need to believe in your vision. You need to pursue it and push through the obstacles. But at the same time, you have to be able to read the market and realize when it's time to call it or cut it or pivot and do something different. And it's tough, man. It's hard. Like I've gotten, like, I think better at it over the years, but I still fuck it up.
Yeah.
I still fuck it up all the time, man.
Well, I think humility too. I mean, I'm not an entrepreneur, but I think being able to take that constructive criticism and not be so unapproachable that, your fucking workers aren't just like I've worked for directors that you couldn't fucking say anything to, and you're sitting there looking at them shoot stuff and go, dude, this is fucking horrible. Like you could shoot this so much better. You shoot this a million different ways to make it make sense. Mm-hmm. And dudes are just like I worked on this one project where you had a fucking guy and he had done nothing but theater and TV. And they brought him in to shoot a feature and he set all his fucking cameras up like he was shooting a play. Like all you have like 3 cameras and like, different lenses. So yeah, you are getting a little bit different shit, but it's like, dude, like a fucking L-shaped ambush, man. Like fucking turn the other side, like fucking shoot a profile or shoot a fucking extreme close up or shoot it would be fucking weird. Like you'd have one camera that's like this, and then you have another one that's like this. And you're like, it's the same fucking shot.
Yeah, no, there's an art to it, man. I think there's an art to entrepreneurship, and a lot of it, I hate to admit, but a lot of it has to do with timing, dude. A lot of it has to do with timing, being positioned in the right place, building the right thing, so you can catch it's like surfing, man. Like I'm not a surfer, you are, but it's the same thing. Like you build the thing, you build the surfboard, you paddle, you get ready, you get position, and then you see the wave coming, and then you fucking ride it out. And sometimes you're sitting in the fucking ocean for a long time and nothing comes, man.
But if you paddled straight to shore and you'd never catch the wave, right? Like, so some of it is like luck and timing, and then when you're on the wave, you still have to execute. I'm a surfer, so I'm biased towards this metaphor, but I think it actually is like an extraordinary metaphor for entrepreneurship.
Yeah, like the kettlebell company for me was a big timing thing, because like with CrossFit, and Dave Castor helped out immensely with that, but I just caught the right wave at the right time with that, and it worked. It was a hugely fucking problematic business, very low margins, but the timing of that helped. The network that I had at the time, Castro pulling the right strings, like it just fucking fit, and that gave me breathing room to do the next thing. Yeah, it's a wild
Kev,
ride.
I would argue that like you are an entrepreneur. Like making a film is like building a company, right? It requires all of the same skill sets. It requires like, a vision, belief in yourself, teamwork and collaboration. I mean, maybe now with AI, it's possible to build like 2 and 3 person unicorns, but it certainly is not in the filmmaking world, or is not yet. So you have to like, marshal a team, focus on a mission, and ultimately have a go-to-market strategy. So.
Well, there is something to be said for a lot of AI and a lot of VFX stuff. It's getting cheaper to where, like, I mean, shit. One of the first films I did with Michael Bay was I did 3 and Transformers 3 and Transformers 4. But I mean, fuck, back then, like half your budget was $100 million of VFX, visual effects, where some dude on a computer is like tweaking shit and making fucking robots, and now it's like probably half or even a third.
Dude, it's wild. I remember
what it was.
I forget which Transformer I worked on, but I got the opportunity to go in, and I had no idea about Hollywood or anything. And I go into this fucking set. I'm just, tactical extra number 5 or whatever it is. I couldn't even see myself in the film. I watched it. I'm like, I maybe think I'm that guy, I don't know. But dude, walking on set, and they've got like this 4-story styrofoam fucking building basically that they're carving out with chainsaws into like this face of Megatron or something. Like, holy shit! Now I understand why these fucking feature films cost hundreds of millions of dollars, because there's so much that goes into it. It's
there's like 200 people.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Standing around. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, what does this guy do?
But if you think about it from a business perspective, it's no longer true. But like, what did I don't know, like any of these, like Avengers or whatever, like they spend like $300 million, like they raise a bunch of capital, there's a bunch of film financing, right? They make the film, it goes to market, right? And then it starts to get, and those films make between like $1 billion and $2 billion.
Worldwide.
Right. So think about like, and then they're like annuities because they continue to pay downstream, right? So if you think about the business of Hollywood, like that's a startup. And if you built a startup that went from 300 million to becoming a unicorn at $1 billion, that's a 3x return right there in about a 2 to 4 year time horizon. That's a really good business. If you build a startup and sell it for 3 to 5x in 2 to 4 years, like that's a great return, and you do that over and over again. Like,
the budget on that, I could see why they're very risk averse too, because like it's so expensive to do something, and then what if the market doesn't like it? Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Look, it's funny. Like, I just want to say, like, think about like the arc of our podcast here. It mirrors the arc of our life, right? Like we started off talking about where we're from, then we talked about our time in the teams, and an inordinate emphasis on drink, fight, fuck, right? Because we did all 3, and And now, like, here we are, like, in this next phase of our
investing.
life. Talking. So boring. How did we get so boring,
and I gotta
you guys?
piss again.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll come back to it. Sure. All right. We're clapping back in.
Kevin's walk-on song.
Yeah.
Take the rain down to Africa.
All right. Perfect. So I think this is a good time to launch into, like, because you've.
What's the coffee for?
Oh, dude, drop kick. This stuff has a punch, bro. So it's my buddy Pete Lemke, which we got to have on the show too. He's another local entrepreneur guy. His stuff. He dropped off a whole kegerator here full of drop kick coffee. It's got a punch, dude. It's way better than the espresso martini you had last night.
I noticed that. I was like, this is the worst tasting beer I've ever had. You know?
This beer tastes like shit.
That's good coffee though.
Great coffee.
Yeah, like half a mug of this, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You're wired, dude.
Potent. Nice.
Yeah, it's got good shit. So I think you've done a good job of, like, you've walked the team guy path, you've walked the entrepreneurship path, you're on the investor path. And you're kind of in a position where you can kind of do whatever you want. You got a fucking boat coming. Like, what excites you these days? You know, like you've reached kind of the apex where a lot of people aim for, and you're there. Like, what's the next step for you? What are you excited about? What's the next chapter for you?
You know, honestly, I don't really know. Like, I feel like it's only in hindsight that our life is, like, so ordered and linear. Like, in reality,
Right.
it's like a circuitous, like, path of, like, opportunities.
Yard sale and
Yeah.
shit.
One mess to another. Yeah.
Right. And you're like,
Parabag
oh, what's
bomb.
this opportunity that opens up? Like, you know, I mean, in some ways, I'll tell you, like, constitutionally, the thing that has changed the most for me is I spent, you know, between my time in the teams and then my time as a war correspondent, I was all over the map, right? Like, you know, 6 passports with 8 bazillion stamps in them, and, like, on a plane every week. And I am enjoying being more grounded, and I'm enjoying being, like, more in one place and enjoying the fruits of my labor in a way that I was never really able to. And then now being, like, more deliberate about the things that I do. I just read this cool book about, like, the new essentialism or whatever.
Yeah, I wrote that down last night.
Do you like it? Oh, yeah.
No, I wrote it down after we
What's the
talked
name
about
of the
last
book?
night.
It's like the new age of essentialism or the new essentialism or whatever, but it doesn't sound profound, right? It's easy to say and hard to do. We all have all of these inputs on our life, and actually, like, deselecting and focusing on the core things that move the needle or move us. So I'm really trying to put that philosophy more into practice, because there's tons of opportunity, but what do you really want to execute on, and what really makes a difference? And even though my path has been circuitous, when I look back, there's a couple of constants, and some of those constant variables have been service, they've been national security, and I think keeping those as my North Stars really matter. So yeah, I'm gonna, like, continue to invest in companies, but again, only in my lane and only in the lens of things that I know and understand. And then just, like, it's nice to be, like, I have this neighborhood tennis group that I play in. We're all, like, super competitive. There's, like, this, like, you guys follow that guy Ben Barker, the neighborhood alpha dad? I now, like, I'm not a dad, but I aspire to be the neighborhood alpha dad. So, like, short shorts, like, walking around, like, lunging 225 on my back and just establishing neighborhood dominance. That's, like, what I want to do.
Like, what's up, nerd?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, look, I'm not trying to shirk the answer. Like, I just got here. Like, I just finally achieved financial freedom. Like, and now I am happy to be here. I'm enjoying being, like, more rooted, not being on a plane every weekend, building some community, enjoying it. That doesn't mean that I probably won't, like, disrupt it all. And I'm always vulnerable to the call of service. Like, here's this thing that matters, right? Like, you know, here's this thing that's really important for the nation, and it's hard for me to resist that call of service, and like that call might be coming. So I could see that in my future, but you know, I don't know. Like, I'll continue to build, I'll continue to mentor. I'm I'll always have this sort of philanthropic bent. Like even, we did my podcast, Tactical Wealth, yesterday, which is really like just supposed to be inspiration for other military guys like us that you can achieve in this entrepreneurial
How often do you
Very
shoot?
technical.
We shoot as much as my producer Angie sitting over there can wrangle me. She fucking hates me. She's like, "When can you shoot?" I was like, "Well, I have these like 3 days. I'm not on an airplane in December of 2026. So we shoot as much as we can."
Funny. Yeah.
But yeah, so look, it's funny to be out of media because media is awesome when you don't need it to put food on the table.
Yeah.
And you can use it to do things that are meaningful to you. And that's what I'm doing now. Tactical Wealth is meaningful to me because I can inspire other military guys on the entrepreneurial path. Or maybe not even inspire. That's like too lofty, right? That's too highfalutin, right? Like plant a seed of a kernel of an idea that it is possible because other people have walked that path. So, stuff like that. I have a bunch of cool media projects, ironically, after I left media, like new TV series, new documentaries, some of which I'm financing, some of which I'm co-producing, things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's cool. Maybe I'll do another show with Kevin. That's a good time.
Yeah. How much of that do you think is like, and maybe it's different because you're not like a family guy, but how much of that is like, hey, you just want to like, or was there a moment where you just stepped off the gas and you're like, fuck, when you got that, when you were able to kind of take a breather, was there a moment where you're like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do? And did you contemplate not stepping on the gas? And because you're able to just step off and do nothing if you want to. And how did that conversation go with yourself?
No, it's like a work in progress. And, the problem is the second I had it, I filled the plate with all this other important stuff. So the new era and the new discipline is like saying no and like carving the space to just do the high impact things. And like, I'll just admit, like I'm not good at it. I have a high capacity to do many things all at the same time and be like fairly successful in them. The problem is it takes up, like there's only so much, right?
Yeah.
It takes up the whole pie chart.
Yeah.
And actually building in the white space. I had Mark Devine on my podcast earlier, and Mark's a really interesting, amazing team guy who's built some interesting businesses. But what's most fascinating about Mark is his mental approach to the game.
Yeah.
And Mark has been meditating, since he was 21 years old. I don't actually meditate unless I'm surfing. That's my meditation.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of like, I want to create more space in my life for deep thought, especially now, like with the velocity at which everything is moving, right? We have so many inputs on us at any given time that actually like driving towards more simplicity and less complexity, I think is part of the key towards leading a more fulfilling life.
Did you think about not doing it though? And just be like, hey, I'm just going to go sit on my yacht and do nothing?
Totally. But that's not totally in my nature. So I'm always going to be doing something, but maybe it's not 10 things, maybe it's 3 things. And just,
Right.
But that is, I mean, that is a good point, because I don't think any of us are in that, like, oh, okay, fuck it. I'm in a place now, I'm just going to sit on my ass. You're like, I don't know. I don't think any of us would truly be happy doing any of that. And I think with COVID and, the strikes afterward and all that stuff with the film industry, like, that's when I first realized, I'm like, shit, I don't really have to fucking work as much as I do.
Right.
But I have to do it more for like sanity's sake. Otherwise, I mean, dude, I'd literally just sit at my fucking house and like not do fucking anything. It's like how the fuck do you do that? Like literally sit there and not do a fucking thing.
I've had I've had a few conversations with some friends of mine that have reached that point where they could do nothing.
Yeah.
And the longest I've heard any of them, none of them did nothing afterwards. Because I think once you to achieve that level, you have to be on the gas and go, and you just get used to it, and you kind of learn to love it.
Like, how do you come off of that?
Yeah, and I don't think you do, because the longest I've ever heard of anybody doing nothing was 18 months. This is a guy who, like, is real estate. He could do nothing forever and be fine. He lasted 18 months. He's like, I'm so fucking bored.
Yeah. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to
What do you do? You
like,
just sit at home? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I guess some of that. I guess you could come downstairs at noon and crack a bottle of fucking whatever and start.
Yeah.
But then
a man
you can't
needs
do
a
that
mission,
every
dude.
fucking day.
Everybody needs a mission.
A man needs a mission for sure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's one, I don't know, I'd call it a mountain, but one hill that I like when I picture my life, 2 decades in the future or whatever. And I think it's good to have some vision of where you want to be.
Yeah.
Some of this is, I grew up, my mom taught at the university in Santa Cruz. And so I actually lived in the faculty apartments. And so when I grew up kind of having this like rich intellectual life where there's like professors around and stuff like that, I do see, I think living a life of the mind, especially as you get older, is really important. And like being surrounded by young people is also really important. So I do aspire to teach, not like in the like academia, like publish or perish realm, but like I could very easily like take this experience that I've accumulated and like be an adjunct lecturer somewhere. And that's, I do want to do that in the future. So it's not going to be
That'd
like
be cool. I could see you doing that.
Yeah, like
Professor Larsen has a room too.
Professor Larsen, exactly.
Like
Bow chicka bow bow.
guest lecturer.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Yeah.
Like guest drinker. Like Kevin comes in, like,
It's kind of what you do here.
our guest drinker this week is
It's kind of
Ryan Williams.
Well, hey, I am to please. Here for your entertainment.
Well, dude, that was that other podcast that I did called Bar Talk.
Yeah.
It never really like took off, but for one, because I don't think they ever really like kind of pushed it out there and like you're doing with ours.
It's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and initially the whole deal with that was like we were supposed to go and we were supposed to film at Dirty Birds in OB, and we filmed the pilot there. And then after the pilot, like the fucking producer had like this huge like blow up with the owner or the manager of the bar. So then it's like, well, fuck, what do we do now? So then it turned into we're at a different bar like every time, and I started like getting, we went to McGregor's a couple times. We even did it in my backyard a couple times at Kent's Pub, and but it was like one of those things where I'm like, fuck, man, it's like every show was, it was entertaining, but it was just really just kind of hanging out, drinking at a bar, which is, I guess, kind of fun. But
yeah, it's fun. But I think like,
but it wasn't making shit for money. That was the other thing too.
Neither does this. But I think like what I like about this is it's purposeful conversations. Like we're trying to push ourselves forward. We're trying to grow. We're trying to do more. Like we talk about our successes, but more we talk about our failures and lessons learned.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing is that every person needs a mission. Like every person needs a purpose.
Yeah.
Every man needs a mission. You got to have something to strive for. You got to have goals. There's going to be challenges, but you just got to fucking like pull yourself up and do it. And I think a big part of the conversation around that is that people have an unrealistic expectation of how easy it's going to be. Because everybody on Instagram talks about, oh, look at my fucking Lamborghini. Look at my house. Look at my shit. But they don't really talk about all the shit that they went through to get there, right?
Exactly.
And everybody fucks it up. Everybody.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about this on your podcast, I almost lost my whole fucking business like almost 5 years ago, and I learned a lot from that, dude. And I don't know now that we're building back.
How do you handle that? How do you persevere?
How do you go through it? Yeah, and it was actually reading a couple books from Bezos and Musk and
Penthouse Letters.
Totally.
one of the all-time greats of the Western canon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
literary classic.
But it made me realize that the failures that I went through were not because I'm a bad entrepreneur. That's just what entrepreneurship is.
Yeah.
And every person you've ever seen that's built something significant has a story about almost going out of business, usually multiple times. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, it made me feel a little bit better about me fucking my shit up, where I'm like, all right, well, I'm not about entrepreneurship. I'm not a bad entrepreneur. I'm just in entrepreneurship. This is what the path looks like. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, all right. It's like being a fighter and like getting punched in the face. Like, you're not a bad fighter. You're just in the fucking ring. Yeah. You know, that's what happens in the ring. You get punched in the fucking face.
You may have to tap a couple times before you get fucking.
That's what happens, dude. And you're like, all right, well, I'm in the fucking ring. I'm doing it. I'm a fighter, and this is my arena, and this is what I choose to do, and I love it, man. And this is the path, you know. And I think if anybody is on the outside looking in, they want to get in the ring of entrepreneurship. Well, number one, I don't recommend it. You know what I mean? Like, you're way better off than like a 9 to 5. And
just like I don't recommend most people to be fighters. So,
right? No, yeah, you got to be driven to do it. But if you do want to do it, just know that like this is what the path entails. Like, you're gonna get punched in the fucking face. It's gonna be probably one of the most difficult things you've ever done in your life. But the rewards are monumental freedom and flexibility and control of your own life and network and connection with people and community. It's a beautiful thing, and I fucking love it. It's not for everybody, obviously, but I wouldn't want to do anything else, you know. But I think everybody has to choose that. They have to choose whatever it is, whether you want to go rock climbing or mountaineering but something. Like, choose fucking something and get off the fucking couch, make a goal, take the steps to achieve it. And even if you never fucking achieve it, it doesn't matter. Just take the fucking steps, walk towards that fucking goal, and walk on the fucking path. And by walking on the path, you'll meet other people on the path, and you'll have a community around you. And that's what's meaningful. That's what's meaningful in life, is to have people that you can connect with, people around you, people you can talk with, and do shit like this. Yeah. Just have a good conversation and feel fucking alive, you know?
Yeah.
It's better than sitting around and like, oh, I'm on my yacht in the middle of the fucking ocean doing nothing. Like, yeah, success is whatever you define it as.
Damn right. Damn right. I define it as sitting around drinking some gasoline.
Cheers,
fucker.
My
boys. Yeah,
fellas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess I'm catching a plane.
Yeah. Is that a good spot to stop?
You think they'll let me this drunk on the plane?
Like,
just have more dropkick coffee. You'll be so jumping no time.
They're like, that guy's obviously on coke. You know? Like,
where are you going? Miami?
No, I'm going up to NorCal to visit my family.
Fam.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell one team guy story that's like my favorite, like team guy story about getting on a plane drunk.
Sounds like a team guy story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this probably was way better 2 hours ago, but I was coming back from a Nyland training trip, right? Desert warfare, and like you remember how shitty Nyland was. You go out there for like 3 weeks, like. All you do is like shoot and blow shit up. Oh, it's miserable, right? And I was coming back from that trip, and I was going to visit my family in NorCal the next day. And, you know, like the responsible thing to do would have been to like pack my bags. But you get back from 3 weeks in Nyland, and like, what do? You like
drink,
call Ryan Williams.
Drink
like, want to go to the tavern? You know,
Pacers.
Yeah, exactly. Start at the tavern. You end up at Pacers. Next thing you know, like so, like you know, I mean, you might have even been with me this night. Like we go out, like we get all wasted, right? Like you know, I come back like 3 a.m. or something. Set the alarm. I have like a 6 a.m. flight, so you got to be at San Diego Airport at 5 a.m. I set the alarm. It doesn't go off. I wake up. It's
5 p.m.
Yeah. It's like 5:10. I have 6.5 minutes to get from PB to the San Diego Airport. I get there, still drunk. I grab my bag. I get there. I'm still drunk. I'm going through the TSA line. This is post 9/11, and I put my bag through. I'm like leaning on the post because I can barely stand. And they're like, "Sir, can we check your bag?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they just like open it up, and it was my bag from Nyland, which I didn't unpack. And they just started pulling out like stripper clips of 5.56 Greenpoint, and it really looked like a cartoon, like how many fucking rounds could be in this bag?
That's not mine.
Yeah, exactly. And there was
it's not my bag, baby.
Yeah, there's like old ladies in the line screaming like, "He's got bullets!" bullets, or whatever.
Oh,
like cops like descend on me,
Dude.
and I was like, oh, I'm fucked. Like I got like real sober real quick.
Definitely not making this flight.
Yeah, well, except because it was like bullets, they like held the flight while I was being interrogated. So all these people are sitting on the airplane, they hold the
Holy
flight.
shit.
Like, and nowadays you would be in like so much more trouble. But like of course the cop was like in the Navy or in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
The lieutenant who was in charge of TSA at that time. This is like early days, 2003 or something, and he's like, what would your commanding officer do if he called you? I think it was Ryan Zinke, actually. I'd be like, well, probably
wouldn't give a fuck.
probably have me a beer or something. So anyways, I was like, oh, sir, please don't call my commanding officer. He's like, all right, I got you. Like, I was in the military. And he's like, I'm going to hold these bullets here till you come back, and then I'll like give them to you, which
That was very nice of him.
Right.
Yeah.
But even better that they had held the plane, and these people had been on the plane for like 45 minutes just sitting
Holy
there
shit.
while I got interrogated. And then I walked on it. It was Southwest, open seating, I remember. And like I got back on the plane. The same people who had been in line with me at the pre-check. And they were
that guy?
Yeah. They were looking at me like I was Osama bin Laden. And I remember I went and I sat next to someone, and they got up and they changed seats and sat somewhere
Like,
else.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
that's the worst. Like flying when you first of all haven't fucking packed the night before.
Oh,
like I did that shit. Probably one of the worst fucking times flying from San Diego to LA to fucking China to fucking Chiang Mai, fucking Thailand.
Holy shit. Yeah.
On this Spike Lee movie, and for some reason, like Gabby was out of town with the fucking kids or something. I was at home by myself, and I wind up going to another team guy's house. He had like a house party, and then we walked to another bar. And I'd set my alarm, and the cool thing about this is they had car service for me. So they were picking me up to take me to the airport. And, dude, I had set my alarm, but I had put the shit on fucking, it was PM and not AM. And I hadn't fucking packed. For 5 fucking months in Thailand.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
And dude,
That's a deployment,
I'm
dude.
like laying there and my phone is ringing. It wakes me up, and I'm just like, "Where the fuck am I?" And it's the sun is up, and dude, just fucking panic. I look at my phone, and I'm like, "Hello?" And it was the car service. They're like, "Mr. Kent, we're." Are you coming outside?
That's the
We've been
worst
here
feeling,
for
dude.
And dude, I had like 10 missed calls from those fuckers, dude. And I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, give me a second. I'm like, it's gonna take a little time. And dude, I'm just throwing shit in fucking bags. And dude, I get in the car, and dude, I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm weighing it. I'm gonna go, it might make more sense for you to just drive me to LAX instead of driving me to San Diego and getting on this fucking commuter flight and taking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we can't do that. I was like, fuck. So drops me out of San Diego. I rush through. Luckily, I didn't have any fucking green tip in my bag. And
Weak.
yeah, get on the fucking, get to LAX. And LAX is the worst fucking airport ever. And dude, I go through, have to walk from like, Southwest terminal to like the fucking Tom Bradley.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
to get down there and finally get on the plane that's going to China or through China. And dude, I had a fucking ton of time. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, this is dumb as fuck. I'm like, why'd they schedule me this flight to get to LA? So I'm sitting there and dude, hadn't showered. I'm fucking just hung the fuck over. I'm just like, this fucking sucks, dude. And then, so what do? Like,
Have a drink.
start drinking. But it was awesome. The whole plane was like almost all business class. I'm like, this is fucking rad. And it was like the pods and shit. And it was a double decker. I'm like, dude, this plane is fucking massive.
It's a good thing you didn't miss it.
Yeah.
That's the worst feeling though, dude, when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I fucked up.
Oh,
I hate that.
yeah.
I tried so much of my life revolves around not doing that these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to say for the record, I make 95% of my flights. You know? It's not all degenerate drinking.
I don't think I've ever missed a flight. Thinking that.
Yeah, I missed a couple.
Yeah, I missed a couple. Well, speaking of, we got to get you on the next flight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But where can people find you?
You know, the gram is probably my main landing page. I do a lot of stuff there. The podcast is Tactical Wealth, which is on like all of the channels, you know, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and all that stuff.
What's your Instagram handle? Kaj Larsen?
At Kaj Larsen, one and only.
Not the real Kaj Larsen?
No, it's actually not the one and only.
K-A-J.
K-Larsen, you know? Yeah. Been butchered my whole life, the Kaj Larsen. So, yeah, Instagram's usually a good starting point. And, you know, KajLarsen.com. The financial company is Siebert.Valor. But, yeah, KajLarsen.com has all the stuff.
Cool. I love it, brother. Well, thank you so much for making the time and coming on, man.
Good to see you guys. I knew I was going to get drunk on this. This is basically drunk frogman history. And drunk history is a great show, so don't get me wrong. I think we're onto something here.
We should put that together.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Some hot wings, dude.
Yeah,
got everything going.
Let's get like some of the boys from the famous missions, get them wasted, and get them to retell the story of their mission. Like, so there I was. Going up the stairs.
We have to edit the fuck out of that.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Drunk frogman history.
Drunk frogman history.
Something.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Directed by Kevin Kent. K-Squared Productions.
I have to direct it drunk, too.
Yeah. Oh, something different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
That's it, guys. All right.